We are live. Yo, so exciting to see a bunch of you already making some noise in the chat. We are hiding behind the original 1989 movie poster that you're seeing on your screen right now because we're just giving a chance for everybody who wants to join in to join in. It's 8:15 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone, and we are starting the broadcast. I'll tell you, we would be playing music right now to go along with this little intro, except that we are in the middle of getting this whole live stream situation together, and we don't yet have like the mixer to be able to stream audio into this. We're not broadcasting out of OBS anymore. We're putting the signal, the picture from OBS through StreamYard, blah, blah, blah. That's all very technical. The exciting part is that you voted, and tonight we're watching Batman 1989. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us. Hey, we got a special guest in the house. Say what's up, special guest.
What's up, special guest?
Hey.
Well, I'm excited to watch the Batmans because I've never seen any of them. Unless you count if you ever go to a hotel room and then you're like flipping a channel and then all of a sudden you see a Batman movie and you're like, oh, what is this? Or you just watch the very end of it or something. And that's what happened to me. So I have seen clips of this, but I've never seen the entire way through.
Yo, Jason Burgos is watching on Facebook.
Yeah, what's up, Jason?
Now, Jason Burgos, I'm going to put that invitation out there that we can shoot you a link and get you on this broadcast if you wanted to say hello, like at a certain point. That could be a thing that could happen. If you make a little brief appearance, if you got your camera in the light situation, looking nice. Yeah, Melf Studios in the house in the chat. Want to say what's up? Rochelle Holloway has never seen it. Oh wow!
Wow.
So you know what? Let's cut the crap. Let's just go live, shall we?
Yeah, we can watch it together.
Hello everybody. Welcome to the Sean Ward Show Studios in a secret underground location high in the sky above Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Wait, underground or above?
Well, it's a secret underground location high in the sky above.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's so far down, it comes back out the top.
Oh,
I'm Sean. This right here is our man Oliver. He is Spider-Man on the channel.
I am.
He's been Batman recently on the channel.
I have.
And the giant irony there is that homeboy has never seen a Batman movie.
Nope, never seen one. Well, unless you count clips, but no, never seen the entire way through.
Now, y'all people in the chat, tell me if you are as shocked to hear that as I was when he was already had the costume on and had already been Batman in a video or two already. And then it comes to my attention that he's never seen a Batman movie. And I'm like my brain doesn't even know what to do with that information. Like the universe stops making sense. There's no laws of physics anymore type of thing.
The world doesn't work.
So we came up with the idea to do this where you guys would pick what Batman movie is going to be his first. We've been running voting on Instagram all week. And now here we are together to watch the movie that you chose, 1989 Batman, starring Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, Robert Wuhl. Who else? Pat Hingle. We're going to see all their names on screen.
Don't forget the one. Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
the Joker. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Yeah, but it's funnier to say those names nobody knows. Oh. But no, as you recall, this movie has a long opening credits sequence. We're just listing all the names. So, yeah, we got a lot of people. We're going to be checking on your comments throughout this whole thing. Now, as you can see, right down here, this is going to be where we're at in the movie so that we can, if anybody comes in to leave or your stream gets interrupted, you can just scrub the movie to that point. I'm pointing at the computer over to that. You can just put the movie to that point in time and rejoin us and be like you never left. Yeah, so that's just a little thing we're doing for y'all. Also, we got a nice little thing here to put your comments on screen. Let me show you. Let's give the first comment on screen of the night to Rochelle Holloway as she says, oh, it's to Alan who says, what's
just a heads up that is my roommate.
Dope. We got Oliver's roommate watching.
What's up?
Yeah. So as you know, we are not showing you the movie. We would get in huge trouble if we did that. This is a movie watch-along party.
Yes.
So you get your own copy. I'm assuming if you subscribe to my channel even, I'm assuming you own this movie already. So we're all going to do the old 3, 2, 1 and press play at the same time. We've got ours queued up on my phone. We got it to a Chromecast on the TV right here. And I'm going to need to press play on here and play on this stopwatch at the exact same time so that it all stays in sync. And that's just how technological this all is. It's kind of like I always refer to what we do as the Little Rascals putting on a play in the backyard, like, and then it's like accidentally really good. It's kind of how we do everything around here. So you might hear the sounds of like some distinct sounds like that kind of sound, or the odd crunch here or there, because we've got some refreshments, some movie snacks over here.
We get some snacks.
Yeah, pita chips.
Who doesn't want snacks when they're
got
watching a movie?
We should have got a quieter snack, but yeah, whatever you like for movie snacks. You know what I like at the theater? A coffee. Call me crazy. That's just me when I go to the movie theater.
And there's nothing wrong
I
with
like
that.
a coffee. So yeah, we got Alan in the place over here who's made a great point, and I'm highlighting it because it stars Vulture, Michael Keaton, Batman, and then he was also the Vulture in Spider-Man.
That's true.
That's very exciting. So I don't know. Maybe without further. Oh, one last thing we're going to talk to you about here is the Suicide Squad. Warner Brothers sent me some cool swag. I wish we had a second camera to give you the close-up. You can check this out on the Instagram story. They sent a couple of poker chips. Yeah, they can't see this so good. It's got James Gunn as a character called Jackpot, and it's got the John Cena character. What's his name? I'm blanking on.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker. So
Peacemaker.
We got the Peacemaker chip and we got the Jackpot chip. And apparently we're going to be getting more deliveries. And the rep from Warner Brothers told us to not get too attached to our favorite character as we get these deliveries rolling in. So what up to WB, who, you know, Batman and all that. What up, WB? Thanks for the swag on the Suicide Squad. We're keeping it near, so we're on theme. I got my nice Batman jacket here. And I think we're about ready to go.
Should we do like a timer where it's like 3, 2, 1, everyone starts?
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. So basically, if you got your copy of the movie, now's your chance to start it up and press play and then pause right away, because we've got our copy on pause and we're about to get things going. If you don't get it lined up just right, if you're like, hold on, and we get started without you, don't worry, because you could always just like scrub it to this point in time to stay with us. Okay. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Is everybody ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So we got the WB logo on the screen.
I'm already excited.
Yeah. So Jason, in the chat, I will send you the link. I'm just going to let it sit for a moment here while we settle into the movie. So as we get going, it's okay to talk over this part. This is a long opening credit sequence. But I remember we had the VHS of this movie at my house when I was little. Mm-hmm. And I just wore through it like every day. Like I had a little sister later who watched like Disney movies every day. Mm-hmm. But this was like my Disney movies back in the day.
Okay. This is your Disney movie.
Well, because there was a time when like we didn't have all the superhero movies like we have now, and you were lucky to get what you got.
It's true.
And this movie was so epic for its time. That's a DC Comics. What up? Won't give them the props. It's rude to chew gum on a live stream. I meant to get a Kleenex or something to do something with it. But hey, it's my studio. I live here. Well, I work here anyway.
Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
There's another Michael in this movie.
Yeah, so Billy D. Williams, he plays Harvey Dent in this movie, right?
Oh, okay.
So he took this role in this movie on the promise that like, in a future movie, Two-Face will be the villain, and that's when he'll get his time to shine. So when they did Two-Face later on, and then they had the director Joel Schumacher directing by that point, and they told Billy D. Williams, "Hey, Lando, you're done. Give the role to Tommy Lee Jones." Here's something I'd like to know. Put this in the chat. Wouldn't you have rather that they kept Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent in this franchise, or are you glad because it's not the same franchise? Because that's how some people look at it, is that once you switch it up and you got Val Kilmer and George Clooney, it's not the same franchise as the Michael Keaton. It's not the same series anymore. I know that like officially that's the case, but like I don't know if they're all canon, you know?
I was gonna be like, how would I know? Because I've never seen them.
Eric Gottfried is loving Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones is pretty cool though. Like Men in Black, like hands down pretty
great good. Comment from the man Jay Crawford says, this one made me get addicted to love of comics. Same thing for me. Like I just was like so little when this movie was coming out that this is how I describe even my life and my work now, is that it put it into my head. The way this movie was marketed and the way it was consumed after it was out was like, it got it in my head that everybody everywhere is just living their life, killing time waiting for the next Batman movie. Nothing matters to anybody as much as the next Batman movie coming out. And I've just never been disavowed of that notion for all the superhero movies. That's why, like, you know, all the Marvel movies, I'm there opening weekend with a group of 20 or 30 people every single time. Cast Lion. This was like the only Batman I knew for a long time.
So I'm curious if this was this done in New York City or was this done somewhere else or was this done on a set or something?
I am walking encyclopedia of knowledge on this movie, dude. This was a giant set that was built on a back lot in England.
In England?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Because Tim Burton wanted to make like his deep introspective movie that looks at the psychology of a guy who would do this. And Warner Brothers is like, we just want a movie to sell some action figures, bro.
Yeah.
So he figured if he went and made it in England, it would be harder for the executives at Warner Brothers to get in the mix and interfere with him. So he pushed hard to be able to make the thing at a studio in England. I don't know if it was the same one where they make the James Bond, like with Pinewood or whatever, but some giant, like at the time, the biggest soundstage that existed in the world, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so all these alleys and streets, like they literally built like several square blocks of the city. And then they didn't call us to let us go make a video on it before they tear it down.
Well, what the?
I mean, keep in mind there was no show yet, and
Come
we
on.
didn't know each other yet. But
No.
When did that ever stop us? The first time I saw this movie as a little kid, just there, I thought that was going to be the Waynes getting killed.
Oh, that's what I thought too. Actually, I thought that was actually the Wayne. Like, I thought that was actually like Bruce Wayne as a kid, but it's not.
Nah. It's like, oh, this is what's
it tricks
now.
You. I guess it tricks you.
It does.
Watching
it does. It manipulates our expectations. See, here's the lesson for Brian Johnson. That's how you defy expectations. Thanks, Eric Gottfried.
Sorry, that was funny.
It's all over the pavement. It's funny to watch this now and see how awkward he moves, and he can't move his head, and he can only lift his arms so high. But just like when at the time, this looked so badass because it's all we had.
Even just the way it was coming down, this cape. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You think as a kid you'd also be kind of scared at the same time. Oh
well, yeah, there's a complaint about this one and the Ninja Turtles movie, like a bunch of those kind of comic book movies that were based on darker source material.
Mm-hmm.
The first iteration, they were trying to make them true to the source material, and then all the parents and stuff complained.
Wait, they complain about
yeah,
what?
Like that's why the second Ninja Turtles movie was such a departure from the tone of the first one.
Yeah,
because they just made it super fast and just basically made it like a live action cartoon instead of the darker thing that was based on the underground comics that the first one was. And then kind of same thing with this, except Tim Burton had one more movie before he got to take it away from him.
So there's another one after this one that Tim Burton made.
Yeah,
right?
so after this one, Tim Burton made Batman Returns, and that's the one where they gave him a lot more creative autonomy to do whatever he wanted because the first one was such a big success.
Yeah.
Like this one just broke so many records and was just such like, it's basically Star Wars, like that reinvented, like set the tone for what like blockbuster movie stuff is about. And then this one came along and obliterated that.
Oh.
And then there really wasn't anything that revolutionized it to that degree, probably until the Star Wars one started getting re-released. Okay. But yeah, this movie was like not even like the amount of money it made at the box office is like a pittance compared to like the billions in merchandise and T-shirts and action figures and like just the licensing stuff. There he is, Lando Calrissian, mayor of Gotham City. Oh, beloved Benton has to not join us. I don't know if you're still in the chat here or still watching beloved Benton, but she's a member who joins for like all the lives, always supports us. Oh, she says bye, so I guess she's out of here.
Bye.
But you could hang out with us still.
Just chill. Just have us in the
Yeah.
background, you know.
Papa Brewski.
So, like
Junko Despair Queen. I was like so surprised, like I said. Like it's just like, how does that even make sense? Even just in the comings and goings of like coming to Comic-Con and just growing up around this stuff, like it's just so weird that you just didn't like trip over one by accident in the course of life.
I think like as growing up as a kid, like my parents were more into like the Marvel because it was more kid friendly. Wise with DC was
True.
very more like dark, and it wasn't. I guess they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't allow me, but like I guess I didn't take that interest in as a kid because it was more to like more of the kids side of like watching like Disney programs,
Right.
Marvel, etc. But
Well, and also here's an important question because
Yeah.
you grew up in England,
I did.
right? So, like, was this movie or even just the idea of Batman as big a thing in England as it is here?
To be honest, I have no idea because as a kid, I was just so focused on other things, so I didn't really recognize it. And to be honest, like I'm trying to think of like many kids that I used to hang out with, if they even like talked about Batman or anything too as well. Probably one or two, but again, at that time, I was a kid that was more focused on other things. I never thought of it until then. But now, as I moved here and like starting to like into these commons, and then seeing all these like characters being Batman and stuff, or even the animated series, the original animated series with Batman as well too. And I'm just like, what is this? But again, I never really got into it as I wanted to. But like now, as I'm watching it, it's just like, okay, like slowly but surely getting more into it. So I'm studying the Batman role for the Sean Wood show.
Got to.
I got to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if here's somebody pointing out that in Batman Returns, Danny DeVito is the Penguin.
Okay.
Michelle Pfeiffer is Catwoman.
Okay.
Christopher Walken plays this character who's not from the comics called Max Schreck.
Max Shrek. Okay.
Yeah, just invented for the movie.
Okay.
And
just a native character. Okay.
Yeah, so that if you've seen, you know what I'm talking about, the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, right?
Yeah, I've seen clips of them. Like
that's an iconic look.
Yeah, definitely seen clips of like the Batman Returns, but like again, just never seen the entire movie all the way through.
You should know about this from England.
What?
Apparently, Wayne Manor was shot in Hertfordshire. Is that how I'd say that?
Hertfordshire, I can't remember. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've been to England now.
We got to go back.
I know where that is.
Google Maps will tell you.
So journalist, and then I guess the sheriff, maybe.
No, so he's the reporter for the Gotham Gazette.
Gazette, I guess the newspaper.
And he's like the corrupt cop. So if they're making this movie now, he'd be Bullock.
Okay.
You know Bullock from the cartoons?
Nope.
Batman Begins. You haven't seen Batman Begins?
Nope. How would I know, guys? How would I know? There's Jack Nicholson.
Oh no, not Bullock. Sorry, Bullock is like the kind of like gruff cop, but still a good guy. I was thinking of Flass. In Batman Year One and Batman Begins and a few other iterations of the story, there's a crooked cop called Flass.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just part of the Batman story that there's always like crooked cops around getting in the mix.
So here we have Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, he got paid a hefty amount of money to do this movie.
How old was he here? 1989.
Oh, great question. I don't know. Figure he was, in his 20s when he was doing.
Because he's in his 70s now, isn't he?
Yeah, so he probably
if
he's in his 20s in the 60s, so he'd be 30s in the 70s, 40s in the 80s, 50s in the 90s. So yeah, it's probably like pushing 50.
Oh geez, he's like what?
So yeah,
he's like in his 80s now.
Late 40s, early 50s in this movie. I don't know actually. We'll look it up on Wikipedia later. Anybody who's wondering what I'm doing typing over here, I'm sending out that link to bring in a special guest a little bit later.
Wait, who's the special guest?
Jason from Melf is going to make a special appearance on this broadcast.
Nice.
The homie.
Hopefully to see you, Jason, if you're still watching. So that's the mayor. So he's been saying that was Two-Face? Or what's his name? Two-Face?
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent. So
Yeah,
he
so
becomes
he's not
Two-Face.
yeah. So in the comics and in the Dark Knight,
Okay.
Harvey Dent is a lawyer who becomes no, so he gets elected to the district attorney.
Okay.
So he's the district attorney of Gotham City. And then on a high profile case, he gets the acid thrown in his face in the court that turns him into Two-Face. Makes him go crazy when his face gets all melted. So Billy D. Williams here is like looking forward to when he gets to do that. And he never got to.
Oh, that sucks.
Sure does.
Have you seen this man? I thought that was Harley Quinn then, but I just realized that Harley Quinn wasn't invented until later on.
Yeah, Harley Quinn didn't even exist yet.
No, it didn't.
So Harley Quinn was actually a creation of the cartoon show. And then they brought her into the comics because she was so popular from the cartoon show.
I thought she'd be in the comics. So I guess it was what she was done as a cartoon character first?
Yeah, just to give the Joker somebody to talk to.
Oh.
So they could do scenes of him in his hideout and whatnot, and he wouldn't just be like talking to himself, I guess.
Oh, Harley Quinn's a great character as well too. And
She
got
probably
her
would have been a little
movie.
bit. Well, even if Harley Quinn existed, Kim Basinger was probably just a hair too old to play Harley Quinn in a movie like this. She's already like, she's got a little bit more mature of a vibe going on with her,
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I kind of thought the same thing about Margot Robbie at the beginning. I thought she's, not slight enough. She's not got that like recent college grad kind of vibe that I thought that Harley Quinn had. And then she
She did pretty well.
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, she did.
Sir, this son of a... I've seen this movie so much that I've got certain parts that's
Could you
groove carved into my head.
all we want to see, guys, is just have Sean Ward just play every single character just to do.
Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll do like an animated version where I can do all the voices.
Yeah. Comment if you want that. Just
So this is a great little factoid. Jason's letting everybody know that Bob the Goon, so like the Joker's best buddy who he's always with,
yeah.
Nicholson made them put that part in the movie and hire his friend to do it, just so he would have like his buddy there to hang out with while the whole time he's making the movie. Now that's clout in the industry. See now, why are they looking at each other like that? Because obviously he's going to see them look at each other. Obviously he's not going to take kindly to that. Every gangster story everywhere, you don't mess with the boss's girl.
But Jack Nicholson does.
If Jack Nicholson's like, yo, I mess with literally whoever, wherever. And it's been that way since Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
You've seen Cuckoo's Nest, but not Batman.
No.
But you know what? In every other circle anywhere, that would be a good thing. It's only because we're such superhero maniacs obsessed with this thing and living in our little superhero movie bubble over here. I always thought that Jim Carrey would have been especially for this kind of era, that Jim Carrey would have been like the best Joker. This is too early. Jim Carrey wasn't around yet, but if everything would have happened just a few years later, Jim Carrey could have been like the best screen Joker. But there's already Jokers. They gave him the Riddler, and I see why the cast was the Riddler. But if they would have had it to do over again, I always thought Jim Carrey would have been a good Joker for the time, not now, but for the time.
So when is the Riddler or Jim Carrey's Riddler in
movie 3, the Val Kilmer one?
Okay.
So it's 2 with Michael Keaton.
Okay.
And then Michael Keaton didn't come back for the 3rd one because he wanted them to make a movie about Batman. He felt like these movies were always about the villains, and Batman is just like the foil. So he wanted them to do a movie that focuses on Batman and his character and his, what makes him tick. In fact, he's on record as saying that once Batman Begins came out, he's on record as having said, "See, that's what I was trying to get them to do way back then." But you didn't see Batman Begins, so you don't know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Somebody referred to Batman Begins earlier today or yesterday as if it's some kind. He was talking about it as if it's like some understood thing that people don't like that movie. Like, what are you talking about? That movie is a classic. Got a great question here saying, wait, when are the days you stream? Well, as yet we don't have any specific set days. I'm starting to do it on Monday afternoons. As it actually turns into something, I would like to be doing that in the evenings. But this movie party is a thing that is going to be a thing that we do every month. So back when the pandemic first started and we couldn't come into the studio, I was doing these watch along movie parties because the superhero movie thing is just such a huge part of my world and my whole, creative everything. So I was doing these watch along movie parties where people would vote for what the movie's going to be, and you put on your copy over there, I put on my copy over here, and we watch it together and talk about it. I did a few at the beginning of the pandemic, didn't do any after that, but I've been wanting to bring it back. And so Oliver, having not seen a Batman movie, was a great excuse to bring it back. So this is actually going to be the first of a new monthly series. So every month you're going to be able to check out a movie with us, and you'll do the same thing. We'll vote for what movie it's going to be. It'll be themed to what's going on. In fact, tonight, all you people that are watching this right now, at the end of the movie, we're going to take your suggestions for what the next movie should be. So we're going to do the movie party every month, and I'm going to do a live stream on the channel. I'm thinking every week right now is kind of how I'm feeling about it. I've done 2 Mondays in a row so far, and it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun. So once that actually turns into something, and I got it, because right now this is in a very experimental phase, right? Figuring out what it is that I can do that's special, that will make it something unique that people just gotta see, And so once I've kind of found more of my groove with it, I'm gonna move that into the evenings. But for right now, I just do it Mondays at 4:00. It's kind of my experimental live stream time. And speaking of time, you might notice that we got the timer right here on your screen. This is so that if you're joining us late, if you didn't catch the beginning of the movie, you can put on your copy of Batman 1989 and scrub to this point in the movie to sync up with us, and we'll watch it together. So this scene always brings to mind when I was a little kid.
Okay.
I had some friends, this was 3 of us that were all 3 named Sean.
Oh,
drove our parents crazy.
Now all spelled differently, or
Yes.
all spelled the same? Okay.
SEAN, and then one guy's SHAUN, one guy's SHAWN. So when we were like 9, there was this whole thing where one of us was going to get a camcorder. And the whole thing about this dude getting a camcorder, we were just losing our minds. And so we had this idea that we're going to make a parody of this movie. And we went so far as to write out all the scenes and figure out where in the one guy's house we were going to shoot all the scenes. And we had a whole big thing written for this. And for some reason, this one sticks out of my mind because dude had a suit of armor in the basement on display. Who knows where he got it, why he had it, I don't know. But he couldn't put it on a wear or nothing. It was like a statue almost, right? So anyway, so he had this suit of armor as a decoration in his house, and we built this scene around that. And then it just became this ongoing thing of yeah, when's the camcorder? Yeah, we're getting it. Yeah, we're getting it. Yeah, we're getting it. And they never got it. We never got to make that Batman parody film that we had planned to, which is probably for the best because we probably would have had to just edit it in camera. You say the first line, click. You say the second line, click. Right, that kind of style. And so now it's been I've said it a million times that not getting to make that Batman video way back then. There's this thing I haven't been able to let go of in life. And this whole YouTube, everything I've done on YouTube is all about that hole in my heart that will never be filled, having not been able to make that Batman.
I would say you should just got to find those Seans again and then just do it.
Yeah, well, one is too busy being a world famous painter, fine art painter.
Oh, wow.
And the other one is too busy being the guy who this giant computer leasing company in the United States sends them all over the world to go train the people at each location all around the world who are gonna be the boss of the repair department at that location.
Wow.
So he's paid as this like the expert who trains the expert who trains the expert kind of guy. So yeah, they've both done very well for
Really
themselves.
smart on computers. And then we have Sean.
And then we have me, who like my whole life is literally just like slapdash, do what I can to never have to put down my superhero action figures. No, I mean, this whole superhero thing just meant so much to me at so many different times in my life. Like I've said about what this movie meant to me as a little kid and just what a big thing it was. But having that world of comic books and superheroes, I don't want to get heavy on you here, but like traumatic events in my life, including like the death of my grandfather at one point, my parents' breakup especially, and just the years of chaos that followed that. Having this world of superheroes and comic books to dive into was kind of just the thing that I grabbed onto in life, and it just kept me going in a lot of ways, you know. And so it's just been that passion all my life. And a big part of it is, you know, because they force you to dig deep. And you know, that film director who was talking crap in the media a couple years ago, the guy who directed Birdman, he was, you know, whatever, he said some unflattering things about superhero movies that turned into a press story. But he was, some of the criticisms of superhero movies is like, oh, they're training people to not solve their own problems. They're subconsciously making people think that some hero is going to come save them. I'm like, no, I think the people who get it understand that you're watching this movie and you're thinking that like, if my circumstances were just so, that would be me. And maybe I could find a little bit of that in my circumstances now, you know? That's what it's all about. That's why we love this stuff, I think. You can let me know in the chat what you think. Oh, we're
That question, because I just saw this.
Is going to bed.
Okay, bye.
John Tierney says, "Hi, what up?"
Just have a question though. There was a wanted sign that had Jack Nicholson's name, literally just Jack. Is it Nipper?
Jack Napier, yeah.
Napier. Was that actually the Joker's name, or was it something different? Or do you even know the Joker's name? Because I don't even know.
No, and there's officially been no Joker name. There's been a few different times where they've like told a story that could be the Joker's origin story.
Okay.
But there's no like official one. Even when they did the Joker movie, they did it in such a way that like he could be making the whole thing up. He's an unreliable narrator, right? So in this movie, it's one of these things where like the producers get involved and the producers think they know better than the comic book people, right? Yeah, that's comic book stuff. We know movies. We know what it takes, what an audience needs for a movie. So on that level, they figured that the Joker needs to have more of a personal connection to Batman so that their fight has more heft. So, spoiler alert, they made him the guy that kills Batman's parents. Because in the comics, it's just a random thug, a guy called Joe Chill. And the whole point is that it's this random, chaotic act of violence that, like, you could never see coming and you're never going to be able to make up for. And that's what drives Batman, is the fact that, like, that random act of violence, he's never, ever, ever, ever going to be able to get the vengeance that he seeks, right? And that's kind of what drives the whole character, is that he can never be satisfied. Whereas with this one, they made it so that the Joker's the guy that kills his parents.
Oh.
And
so it's
spoiler alert, yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
I'd already started talking about it when halfway into the sentence, I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Don't ruin it, John. Jeez. Well, it's interesting though, because it's just having like different characters, or like having the Joker, or what he said, Joe something. What was his name again?
Joe Chill in the comics.
Joe Chill in the comics. That's not the Joker, because we don't know who the Joker is. He's just some random guy who's known as the Joker.
Exactly.
But
Cass Line says she just remembered Chris playing as that Joker buddies. So Chris, that Joker guy, you know, yeah, Chris.
I know Chris.
He played Bob the Goon, because we did make a Batman 1989 parody video on the channel. Didn't do too good. There's a lot I would change about it. I would love to go back and redo it, but there's so many other videos to make.
So many videos.
So many videos. Yeah, this is getting action-packed.
How they're like using the guns, where it's just like,
I like this
smoke bomb. You know,
Sean looks like Bruce Wayne nowadays.
There you go.
Now, is that because like the hair, the glass, everything? You're just saying that because I've got this Batman armor jacket. Shout out to fun.com, where I got this Batman. It's a whole suit, but you can only see the jacket because there's only so much frame here, you know. I do need a beer mug, Eric. You are right. So here's somebody who's in the same boat as you. He says he's never watched this movie.
What? Who?
Hopefully you got a copy. They say that XJ Love, I guess.
XJ Love. Ooh, this movie looks good.
G Love until I noticed that's a J and not an I.
Well,
yeah, so that dude
which one?
with his gun to Commissioner Gordon's head, that's Jack Nicholson's buddy that he said to the movie, I'll do it, but you have to write a role for my buddy to play like my number one henchman so that we can be hanging out when we're on set.
I'll only do the Joker unless you get my friend in there.
Yeah, and one of the stories I love is that Jack Nicholson negotiated, I think it was 1% of as a royalty from all the merchandising that would go on. And so he still makes millions of dollars a year because that image of him as the Joker has just keeps going around the world again and again and again. How many t-shirts, action figures, dolls, whatever. Oh, so cold-blooded murder right there in the chemical factory. Come on.
Batman Return. Oh. Did you just shoot him in the eye or something? Oh, his face is all like mangled.
Yeah, I think he shot a Batman and ricocheted. Right, so I guess that's how they explain the Joker smile is that he got shot, and then the surgeon that fixes him up, he can only do so good a job. Oh, and there he landed.
So what is that? Like, what is?
So that's him landed the acid. This is how they explain why his face is white and his hair is green, because he fell in that chemical and that.
I was gonna say, would he just completely just dissolve if it's just acid?
Well, you'd think, but also like these were created at a time when like science people weren't, you couldn't just look up shit on the internet to find out facts about stuff. It's like there's acid that you fall into it and you turn your face white, your hair green. Oh, okay.
Like he just flies up like that. Smoke bomb. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So when Trey did that in one of our recent videos, the Uber Eats one.
Yeah.
When Trey throws the gas and disappears as the assassin, I wonder if that's where he got the idea. So look, his fingernails are green. Did you know the fingernails and hair? This is not a joke. Fingernails and hair are the same material.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, what? I guess I don't know what the material.
But they're made out of the same stuff. It's just different configurations. It's the same material. So that's why if he's got the green hair, his fingernails will be green.
Interesting.
Boom.
Science.
So yeah, this woman was like a giant sex symbol in 1989. Like I was even around for it.
I was not even born.
I was born, but I was very little.
So in 1989, how old would you be shown?
Like probably 8, because I think so. When was I saying with 9 we were wanting to make that video, but like the movie was already out like on VHS by then. So working the timeline out, yeah, probably like 8. Ryan Vang. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you know how like in like really rich cultures where it's just a long giant table and it's like here's the pepper. I'm gonna have to walk all the way back now. Why can't you just like sit next to each other,
Well, because he's trying to be fancy. But don't worry.
Be like shouting over.
They're on the same wavelength as you. Just watch. They're on the same wavelength as you. This is also what you do with a woman when you're having dinner with her for the first time to find out if she likes you for you. You should try this sometime. Next time you go out on a hot date with a hot babe.
I just gotta have a long giant table.
That's right.
There's a long giant table.
Or you can do the same thing at a restaurant, a hotel.
We can all, but nowadays we can just text and be like, how's the food?
Yeah. Oh, I accidentally clicked on that. I don't want that on my screen. Although Oriana Garrido, I'll give you props for this one right here.
Hi there, I miss Toronto Batman.
You're not supposed to say it. Yes, because the hair, glasses, and suit. Bruce Wayne. If only I had the bank balance of Bruce Wayne. I'm close. I'm very close.
So I'm guessing this one here is Alfred, right?
That's Alfred,
That's
right?
the butler. Okay.
Yeah. Who's your favorite? Oh, I was gonna. Can you people say in the chat who is your favorite screen Alfred?
So far, this one, because I don't know anymore.
I probably got to go with Michael Caine. He was Alfred in Christian Bale's Batman movies. And that right there is a very good impression of Michael Caine.
Well done.
Thank
done.
you. Oh, here's your country people. It's a shame that it's too late for people in the UK. What time is it in the UK right now, Wendy?
It's 8:56 right now. It's almost 9 o'clock. So what? It would be 5 hours from now. Right?
Oh, geez. Okay, so really the middle of the night.
I think it's 5 or 6 hours. I could be wrong.
Geez,
So
okay.
sorry.
Well, you know what? Stay up late. It's Friday night.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Like
it's
that
the
old
weekend.
pop song. What's that one? This is how we do it. It's Friday night, and I feel all
Now,
right.
did you know the last name is familiar?
The last name? Oh, I didn't even put two and two together.
Now, if you didn't know that,
This is Oliver Marriott. Wendy,
Yeah.
you guys related?
we are. That is my mom.
Oh!
Hi, Mom. How's
So
it going?
Is she over in the UK?
Oh, she's up north right now, just an hour away. She's in
Oh,
Barry.
so I guess maybe she's talking about, maybe she's got like relatives that are trying to watch. And Aunt Percy's all like, I can't stay up that late.
Hopefully, you're enjoying the live show, Mom.
Yeah. I saw someone in the chat said that they thought we were going to put the whole movie on, but like, no, we do not own the rights to show you the whole movie. YouTube would delete our channel if we did that. But that is what this is all about right here, where it says the time. That is so that if you have joined us late, you could scrub through, fast forward to that point, and join in. Watch along with us. This is your watch along superhero movie watch along party.
So this scene here,
yeah,
is where the Joker finally finds out what he looks like.
That's right. He just took the mirror. The nerves were completely severed, Mr. Napier. He's laughing. Well, what's so funny?
Now, I remember watching The Simpsons, and I remember where there was an episode where Lisa gets braces. And for some reason, that looks familiar. Is this the same scene? I don't know if it is or not, but like it's like where Lisa.
I can't remember that. I don't remember that specific episode.
It's a very old
It's entirely,
episode.
Totally reasonable that would have been a parody of this.
Yeah, I remember where it's like Lisa's getting like the expensive braces because the Simpsons, they couldn't afford really anything, right? So they had to get this giant mechanical like brace. I know exactly what it's called. It's a giant metal brace that goes right into the teeth there around your head.
And all I gotta say was Eric Gottfried is getting featured with his comments on screen a lot tonight, but I gotta give him one more. Alan Napier. Do you know where he was, Alfred? The Adam West TV show dude.
Oh, okay.
Alan Napier was Alfred on that show. Have you ever watched that show?
No.
Oh, man. I've never seen like an episode of it.
Clips. All I know is what is it? There was like a shark or something and a helicopter.
Yeah, in the movie.
Was that a movie? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they shot the first season of the show.
Okay.
And then it was such a runaway smash hit that they made a feature-length movie to put in theaters all over the world and help sell the show to other territories.
Okay.
And also it meant that, because I've read the autobiography of both Adam West and Burt Ward, and both of them talk about how that summer, but what would have been for any other person on any other show, what would have been the break between season 1 and 2, instead was make season 1, immediately start making the movie, and then immediately make season 2 with no break. So just one like year and a quarter long.
Oh wow,
chaos, yeah. But it also meant that for season 2, because they only had the Batmobile, so the season 2 of the movie was also an excuse to make more expensive stuff for the show. So that's when you got the Batcopter, the Batboat, all that stuff, because of bigger budget for the movie, right? I love that movie. Love it. Always have my whole life since I was a little kid.
Did they only do one movie for Adam West? And
Yeah, they just did. Well, sequels wasn't even a thing back then. Like, I'm sure there was sequels here or there, but like the idea of like going revisiting the material a second time, like that would have been at the time, like what are you, a hack? You're just gonna do the same thing over again? Like the whole idea of doing a sequel was like, who does that? I've got a copy of the cassette tape of Danny Elfman's score for this movie on a shelf in the office right here on the premises.
nice.
Yeah, we've got a toy shelf out in the office. We're in the studio side right now. Right there's the door to the office. And go to the office is a giant toy shelf, and I've got a Batman section on that toy shelf, and the tape is on that shelf. So only now as an adult, I'm putting something together in a way that I never have before. Okay. They're having a date because they only just met at his fundraiser.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So to have their first date be at his house, like, I don't know if I buy that Vicky Vale would be quite so putting it out there quite so easy to accept an invitation to have a first date at a guy's house. Because you're basically advertising your DTF. You have the first date at the guy's house, right? I would think Vicky Vale would be more apt to like make him chase her a little.
I was gonna say as well too here. It's just like she's sleeping. She kind of wakes up and just sees Bruce Wayne just like doing exercises. It's
oh,
like,
your mom's in the place again, bro.
Oh, what's she saying?
Oh, she says she had a mad crush on Robin. I think she's talking about Burt Ward in the old Adam West TV show.
I know.
Because he had those legs showing, bro. He had that little vest and the tiny, tiny little shorts with the legs, and I think the
I'm
legs.
sure my dad would be very, very jealous. Right
Your
now.
dad has the Robin costume, and he's getting changed into it right now.
Oh God, no. No, let's scratch that from my mind, please.
Too late, it's in there.
No,
I lodged it in there
gosh,
with my thumb.
no. I will say though, the Jack Nicholson makeup looks really well done here, though. It's
yeah, one of the best things about this whole movie is the Joker makeup with the prosthetics. Those two guys, Sean, remember I was telling you about the three Seans? Yeah. So one of the topics of conversation one time was how they got his cheeks to like, because we're little kids, right?
Yeah.
How did Jack Nicholson's face stay like that with the Joker smile? And the one Sean said it was egg cartons. And the other two Seans, one of whom was me, I'll admit, couldn't understand. He goes, "Oh, you guys got no creativity." He wouldn't tell us what he meant.
So what was it?
And decades went by before I figured out that he meant egg cartons like up inside the cheeks to push them out.
Why an egg carton?
I don't know. First thing he thought
of.
And now here's Alfred seeing her on the way up, be like, "Yeah, so you still here? It's the morning. You're still here, huh? So I know what y'all were up to."
So we'll have a nice, pleasant day. Enjoy. See you later.
Yeah.
Just sees her way out.
Okay. So this woman, at the time this movie came out, you know who her husband was?
No.
Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones.
No way. You serious?
God,
oh wow.
God, yeah. I don't think they were married for that long.
I was gonna say not
at the time they were, and that was kind of like her claim to fame almost. She was like a model or something, and then she got the acting gig. So this is kind of like the OG version. This is not discussion for him because he won't know what I'm talking about.
What?
But in The Dark Knight, the scene when the gangsters are having their meeting and the Joker crashes it. If you think about it, this is the OG version of that.
Oh God, he looks so much scarier without the makeup.
Yeah.
That's even more terrifying.
I want his tie, the red one with the dots on it.
What about that tie?
Oh, I'll have that too.
The purple and the
Jason
green.
Burgos does this costume, like this version of the Joker.
I think he should. I think he should cosplay right now and then join the chat like that.
Yeah, there you go, Jason. I know you're home with the baby and all that stuff, but
it's so terrifying.
Forget all that. Get made up. Do the whole suit, the whole costume, the whole look. XJ loves saying Sean Pertwee was his favorite Alfred. Do you know who he was? The Gotham TV show.
Oh, never seen. Sorry, guys. This would be my very first. Oh, he's Skull and Bones now. I wonder if that would actually happen in real life if you just took a buzzer and just like kept on doing it until they like completely just disintegrated.
Well, you got to put something that's going to conduct a current, but not also fry your hand. That's the difficult part.
Like, look at him.
It's like
He's
so
like,
much current to cook the guy.
look at him.
But how would that much current not also roast your hand off?
Yeah, right. Your head
But
would be
hey,
just
that's
completely
Hollywood
gone.
magic. So now we know the backstory of the guy who plays Bob the Goon is that he was Jack Nicholson's friend and they just want to be able to hang out on set. But the bald guy who just exited frame, the tall bald guy,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the look of him has always been jarring to me when I watch this movie. I want to know where he came from.
Oh, I missed it. Well, I'll probably see him again, maybe.
Oh, he'll be in this movie again and again. Don't
And
worry
again. I see what you mean because they're always together.
Yeah. We got to do that. Got to get that jacket with the patch on it.
There you go. You can be Jack Nicholson. I'll be this guy. I'll just be like, just got to do a scene somehow, you know?
We'll just do this scene. Not even a parody of the whole movie. Just a parody of this one scene. Bob, you're my number one guy.
Yep. Blue Brother style. Just get out of there. It's interesting how they probably did that, actually.
Almost like whatever is the prosthetic piece. Sculpted it out of something.
Maybe a wire or something.
Painted it onto him.
Yeah.
One of those things where it probably took several hours the first time they did it and then got it down to a fraction of the time the more they did it.
He's chilling with the dead body.
Time to have popcorn, yo.
Yo, you don't need popcorn, guys.
Yo,
we
make
got
this
some
popcorn.
chips. I just want to see how loud these are already.
Yeah, you can tell us, people, how much of a crunch does this make on the stream?
All right.
This is now ASMR.
I think you should do some kind of scene like that, just chatting with like a corpse of some sort.
Well, yeah, I'll go to
I
the
wonder if we
Halloween
can, like,
store and get one
yeah.
of those plastic skeletons.
There we
and
go.
Dress it up in one of my suits. This would be a very different movie if she had decided to go out on a date with this reporter instead of Bruce Wayne.
And then somehow Bruce Wayne takes her back. It's like, I'm rich.
Why don't they cast him as Batman and Michael Keaton as this guy?
That could also work, to be honest. They look exactly the same. Almost.
What they should do when they make a movie like this is dig a different version with every combination of actors doing each other's roles.
Like understudies.
No, but it's like make the movie over again, but with all the roles switched around. Same people, but all different roles. Stately Wayne Manor.
Now, is that somewhere, or is that also like a model or something?
No,
like
that was a location. That was
That
like
is a
some
location.
English country home. Belonged to I don't know who. Maybe that's the one that the person was saying was like Hertfordshire or whatever it was.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look that up then.
Yeah. So he's on his way to Crime Alley. Maybe they shouldn't have gone down a place called Crime Alley. Maybe that was their first mistake.
Maybe they'll, there's a lot of crime there.
Crime in Crime Alley. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think the time is nigh as we've reached the slower part of the movie to bring in a special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him, you cannot live without him. It's the homie. Well,
What's up, Jason?
There.
Yeah,
It's Jason.
How's it going, Sean? Good to see you guys.
How you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good, man. We just put Bruce down to sleep minutes ago while I'm out on the deck, trying not to wake up the little guy. My office, I would be in there otherwise. It's right next to the little guy's room, so just trying to keep it quiet for him. How are you guys?
Are you still in the same house that I've come to visit you at?
Yes, sir. Still in the same house.
Nice. Awesome. So how old were you the first time you saw this movie? Do you remember?
That's actually one of my first memories. Maybe a year old or even less, honestly. But yeah, I watched that. I had watched Batman '89 religiously since then. That was probably my most watched movie growing up. And I still put it on pretty regularly.
That's awesome. I mean, I haven't seen it in quite some time, so this is actually a fun refresher. But yeah, I watched it so many times that it is a groove that's just been like worn into my brain.
Me too.
But
I was telling
yeah,
jumped on this that I don't even need to see the movie itself here during the live stream. I could just speak on it via memory. I have this whole thing memorized.
yeah, it's a classic. Is it now? What would you say is your favorite Batman movie?
For nostalgia, this one, but in terms of quality, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Yo, did you hear what I was saying earlier that somebody was talking about Batman Begins as if it's just some understood thing that nobody likes that movie? And I was just like, what are you talking about? That movie's a classic. You're with me on that, right?
It's a classic. It tells Bruce Wayne's story perfectly. His character arc, going through the training, setting up his mission, and then it's the launch pad for The Dark Knight. I think it's a beautiful movie.
I'm with you 1,000% on that one. The Dark Knight Rises, as we know, Christopher Nolan wasn't even going to make it because his plans for it were so dependent on the Joker until Warner Brothers just kept on adding zeros to the check or something.
Right.
But how you look? Are you looking forward to Robert Pattinson, or what do you think is coming? What do you think we should expect from that?
Yeah, so like quite a few people, I was skeptical of Robert Pattinson at first when he was cast, but then I really like the vibe of the trailer. It's going back to that gritty, darker feel. Honestly, it's a little bit reminiscent of Christopher Nolan's movie with the realism, I feel. And I just read today that it's based on the Earth 2 Batman, which is typically a little bit more violent. So that makes sense why he did that.
Oh, we just had the throwing the pen at the neck. The pen is truly mightier than the sword.
What?
So yeah, it was Chris, I think, that did this version of the Joker at Fan Expo the year that I couldn't be there.
I do remember that actually as well too. I remember he did.
That's right. Yeah, I remember seeing photos of his black and.
You were at that Fan Expo either, Jason?
Yeah, I saw photos of that one.
So yeah, you haven't been able. I was going to say you haven't been to Comic Cons in a while because of your new dad, but it's like nobody's been to Comic Cons in a while. For a lot more reasons than that.
So I cut down on Comic Cons last year anyway, but I didn't have to feel guilty about having to choose between staying home with the little guy and Megan versus going.
Yeah,
and so
you're looking forward to raising your little son as a Batman fan, given that he's already not even a year old. He's already got a Batmobile. He's already got a Batman costume.
Aww.
His name is Bruce, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And
cool. It all started with Batman '89 to tie it back to the stream.
Now, have you put it on for him yet?
No, I haven't put Batman '89 on for him yet. He did watch a little bit of Batman Begins, though, a few weeks ago.
I saw that on the social media. That was very cute. So, yeah, I can't wait to see little Bruce as he grows up, seeing all the Batman movies, starting to have them memorized, introducing all his little friends in the playground to these movies. Because the kids then are probably like, those are old. What are you talking about? Like, no, dude, you got to watch this. That'd be fun.
You're sold in the process then. And
exactly. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to get back to the movie here, Jason. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll be talking to you again real soon. Everybody check out Make 'em Laugh Films on YouTube. How many subscribers are you up to now?
Over 250,000 now.
Nice.
Hit that 100,000. What? Just last year you got 100,000, right?
I think it was a couple years back now, but just, continue to pump out the content and hope to see it continue to grow.
Exactly. So follow, subscribe to Make 'em Laugh Films. Follow Melf Studios on all your social medias. And here's looking forward to when we can get back together, Jason, and make some more videos.
I'm looking forward to it as well, Sean.
Dream is alive, bro. All right. Talk to you later, man. Bye-bye.
See you, Jason.
Enjoy the movie. I'll catch you guys soon.
Peace. There we go. That was our special guest, Jason Burgos, in the place. Epic Batman fan. Very knowledgeable.
Now, is he more DC or Marvel?
That's a great question, and we should have asked him while he was here. Now he can tell us in the chat.
I'm sure at DC,
I think
it's
less DC or Marvel and more just Batman. I think.
Just
I'm
category.
Sure he loves it all, like the way we all love it all. But I'm pretty sure, like Batman and everything that surrounds Batman is like where it's at for him. For me, it's like Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman have all been equally as important at different times in my life. So it's really tough to pick a favorite. Like it tends to be Spider-Man just because that's the one I collect, and that's the one that I really gravitated to like in that kind of coming of age part of my life. But when I was a little kid, I was so like a baby, like toddler age. I was so into Superman. I had a little red cape that I wore pinned around my neck. This way other kids have like a security blanket or something. And then I got into Batman mostly because of this movie. And also my dad used to watch the 66 Adam West Batman TV show with me. And he actually, when I was really, really little, he took me to like an afternoon matinee re-release of it in the theater. And it's funny, I remember that we got home and it was just starting again on TV when we got home. But yeah, so then it became like, so it was a bonding thing for him to be all like, hey, did you hear this new Batman movie? I'm a little kid. He's going, new Batman movie coming out. What? Didn't even get to see it in the theater because, I'm thinking Batman's for me, right? No, I guess it was a little too mature.
Yeah, these guys are always together.
Let's see. We got XJ Love. I have a question for both of you. Who is your favorite DC superhero and what is your favorite DC villain? I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it. Because I don't know much. I don't know much.
I think
DC.
I gotta say, if you're gonna really twist my arm and make me pick, I'll say Batman. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that creators in comics and movies just really haven't known what to do with Superman since Christopher Reeve. Because for me, my love of Superman is not even Superman; it's that Christopher Reeve Superman. You see. Whereas for Batman, it's not any one portrayal of Batman. I just love the character. And the comic book Batman is the one that I love more than any movie Batman. So for me, Batman is my favorite DC superhero. My favorite DC villain would probably be the Joker if I had to go there, as much as that may be an obvious choice. But let's suppose that I had to pick one that was a little bit more off the beaten path. I remember that there was one. There's like it's literally like the image of Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam
is a DC fucking villain. Pardon my language. And that was always funny. Also, for my favorite hero, can I pick Captain Carrot and the Amazing Zoo Crew instead?
Captain Carrot.
Yeah, it's like an anthropomorphic rabbit, and like a whole superhero team of. They live on some planet where like animals are up walking around speaking English. Okay, this is one of the best, most epic parts of the movie. The news report. Cue Becky. Her jacket barely fits. Oh, not Candy and Amanda.
What?
Candy Walker and Amanda Keeler. This is when the citizens of Gotham are really starting to see what's up with this new threat in town called the Joker.
Also, for my favorite, I would say DC superhero, even though I don't watch that much of DC because I never grew up with it. But I guess right now, I try to think of all the superheroes I can think of. I'll just stick with Superman because that's the really only character I know that he's mostly the most powerfulest.
But I know Superman movies.
I've watched one.
Which one?
It's a long time ago though. What was it called?
The Christopher Reeve one? Like the old 70s ones?
Not the old 70s. No, it was a newer one. It was with what's his name? Not Henry. It's,
Superman Returns with Brandon Routh.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Oh,
I watched that one
for that movie.
No, okay, that's the only one I watched.
And who's your favorite villain?
I don't know the villain because I don't know many. I don't know many of that villains. I probably have to say Joker then because I just don't know that many villains. Why is it the DC universe itself? So we'll go with him.
I also might have to say Lex Luthor because I've always loved him as the scheming Machiavellian billionaire guy.
It's so terrifying.
Gas does to you, bro.
Oh, actually, no, wait. DC villain? Hold on, wait. No, probably the Riddler. From what I know, because Jim Carrey. I've only seen clips of it, but like Jim Carrey from that little clip did really so well with it, and that's probably why I like him. Also, he likes to play riddles on people.
To talk about that Jim Carrey one, I figured out years after I'd watched that movie over and over and over again. I finally figured out that the Riddler in that movie, the plot has nothing to do with riddles.
No.
You'll recall that 3 different times he leaves a riddle somewhere that Bruce Wayne will find it. And then when he's in the Batcave trying to figure out the mystery, the riddles The answer in the end has
Mhm.
nothing to do with the riddles. It's that, oh, wait, the answers each have a number in them. Maybe that number corresponds to the letter of the alphabet. M-R-E. Mr. E. Could it be Mr. E? Enigma? So, like, his telling riddles, like, there was nothing. Batman didn't have to figure out a riddle to figure out what he's going to do or nothing. He might as well have asked, like, how many apples in a bunch or something. Like,
So I'm
when I
guessing that's
realized,
part
I
of the
felt ripped
plot.
off when I figured that out.
Was that part of the plot, I guess, in the movie?
That was the plot.
Oh, well,
So
thanks
the
for
Riddler's like coming along, doing all his, bad guy stuff, trying to take over the minds of the citizens. He's built this like ray that's gonna like suck people's brainwaves out of the head or something. and when he's messing with Batman, he leaves him these riddles and like, yeah, and then it gets to the part where it's like, we're heading into the action climax, and the solution has nothing to do with the riddles at all.
Well, I guess I look forward to the movie since I know what happens now.
Yeah, did I tell you the end? No.
No.
Did I tell you that
That's true.
Nicole Kidman is the love interest in it? No, I didn't say that.
You did now.
Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face is in that one. I didn't tell you that.
Before, I think. Okay, so what's happening right now? What's going on?
Oh, what's going on is they're like, news people are dying on the live news. This Joker guy's out of control. We got to take him down. All the while, they're trying to put on a 200th, like the city's 200th birthday, and they're trying to put on the parade. It was like the Joker's making it. They're like, maybe we should cancel the parade. That's part of one of the subplots that we have been talking all the way through. Is the mayor and his whole thing about how like we're putting on the 200th anniversary parade no matter what.
Now, why does she have a mask on? What was that all about?
You're gonna find out. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
So when Prince did the soundtrack to this movie, and we're gonna hear a Prince song coming up.
Yeah, I saw in the credits that it said Prince or something.
Yeah.
Music's in here.
So I just got done. So I'm on Audible, right? There's a free plug for Audible. I've got an Audible subscription, so I don't read as much as I listen to books. And I just finished a book about Prince and the making of Purple Rain. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
His like epic album.
It's a classic.
1984, ancient history. So it mentions this movie and him doing the soundtrack.
Oh.
And he only did it for the payday. He did Purple Rain, and his next two albums did nothing. And then he made a movie that he insisted on directing, and it flopped. And so he did this. He did the Batman album because he knew it would be an easy hit and an easy payday. The Flugelheim.
Oh.
I will say that one of the innovations that Zack Snyder brought to the DC, pantheon, mythos, whatever, is setting it up so that Metropolis and Gotham are across the bay from each other, much the same way as San Francisco and Oakland are. Because in every other iteration, it's always been that Metropolis is like in one part of the country and Gotham's in another. So it's kind of more like New York and Chicago. But to do it that the two cities like that, just across the water from each other, I thought was really cool. And it gives a lot more reason why Superman and Batman would be up in each other's business. Welcome to everybody who's new to the stream. I've seen the number of viewers going up and down. So we've had some people come and go. And so anybody who's just joined us since the movie has started, you can get your own copy of Batman 89. And this timer right here will show you where we're at in the movie. So just scrub your copy of the movie to this point in the movie and sync it up with us. Okay, so there's the guy I was talking about, the bald guy with the mustache.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Like he's also just prominent in this. And I'm like, what's his story? Is he like a wrestler that like became an actor? Or like, what's his deal? Can't ask
It's like putting on a show.
This song is called Party Man by Prince. Oh, yeah. Oh, hail, new king in town. Well, I can't be singing the song, otherwise the copyright robots start dinging the stream.
Joker was here.
Yeah.
They're making art.
Funky.
More art.
Red and green.
I'm sure that these actors were having a fun time ruining fake
this,
art.
This is probably one of the best days on set of the whole movie. You get a bunch of poster prints of all these fine works of art, mess them up. That sounds like a good afternoon.
Do you think this would have been one shot right here? Obviously, it has to be one shot.
Well, I think that one shot with each piece of art, but I think
That's
they spent
true.
like a whole afternoon messing stuff up and recording all kind of angles. Dude carrying the candelabra, he's got moves. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, give it up. You
know, what an entrance just to come in to have a dinner with someone, you know?
Yeah. Look at the ancient boombox. Now everybody's playing everything on their phone.
What?
My cousin had one like that. And I
What?
thought it was the coolest thing.
I thought it was a lightsaber. He what?
Tell you what a name is. That's in my head.
Sounds like a bunch of like pictures in a book.
Well, she's a photographer, right? That's her portfolio.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, she's a news photographer, bro. Turn them up a little bit. Oh my God, it just came back to me that like the first little piece of this movie I saw was coming up when he's spoiler alert, his makeup's gonna get messed up. And so his look after the makeup was messed up and Batman crashing in through the ceiling. Also spoiler alert.
Oh, thank you.
I just remember like a brief clip like that was playing, you know, that store The Bay? It's kind of like for our American viewers, it'd be like Macy's, J.C. Penney, that kind of thing. We got the store, it's the Hudson's Bay Company, abbreviated to The Bay. So this big department store had like a TV screen out front. I don't know what they're promoting or what the cross promotion was, but they had that like brief clip of this Batman movie running on a TV at the front of the store on a loop. And I remember like staring at it, my dad trying to get me to go. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta watch the new. You know, there was no internet, no YouTube at the time, right? So once we leave, never gonna see it again. There you go. That's why she's got the mask on. Because Joker was like, I'm messed up. I'm gonna mess you up.
What? So is he trying to mess her up again? I guess as well.
Yeah,
or...
he's just a mean guy. He tortures her. I don't know.
What a dick.
Okay, so Halfster X is digging deep when he tells us, I love the Batman game on the Amiga. That was the tie-in for this movie. The reason why I had to feature this comment and address this is because I know what you're talking about. Never got to look at it, let alone play it. And the only reason I know about it is because I was looking in a magazine once at my cousin's house. See, I had an older cousin who was like my conduit to all the cool stuff. And he had a magazine, and there's a full-page advertisement for the game that Halfster X that you're talking about. And just the idea that there's this like Batman game that out there that somebody's getting to play and I'm not was just like, because I was a Batman nut, right? I couldn't stand that anybody would be playing a Batman game that I didn't get to play. All right, now we're getting into the heroic stuff. Oh yeah. It's so funny because like I was saying before about how like there was no like big thing of superhero movies. So it's like there's nothing for the audience to compare it against. So the action in this movie, you'll notice, isn't particularly like fast paced or well choreographed or intricate movements or anything like that. It's just zip across the screen on a line, zip across the screen on a line, they go the other way, shit like that. But they can get away with it because it's just back then you're just happy to get what you got.
They're into the Batmobile now.
Still the best movie Batmobile. Like if someone just says, okay, picture the Batmobile, that's what I picture. Not any of the ones from the comics, not the Adam West one, that one.
Yeah, it looks pretty dope. Isn't there like a cosplayer that actually does have this exact?
Yeah, we
car?
have a guy up here who calls himself Brampton Batman. Brampton is a
Brampton.
suburb
Yeah,
of Toronto. So this guy who lives in this suburb of Toronto called Brampton called himself Brampton Batman. He has a street-worthy, street-legal replica of this Batmobile.
Yep.
And every once in a while, you'll see that it's like he got snapped and put on the news or some interesting blog or got spotted here or there.
Or even the cops pull him over just to be like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to pull you over just to see the car.
Yeah. Which
I'm
you
not
should
gonna lie.
sue them for.
Yeah.
That'd be a pain in the butt. Everywhere you go, you got to budget like 15, 20 extra minutes because cops are going to pull you over just to have a look.
Not gonna lie, it is a pretty sweet car though.
It's the best car.
So
In fact, I played Grand Theft Auto online, and they have done.
There's a model, yeah.
It's been the game's been around so long that every popular car from the movies and stuff, they do like a slightly altered to not break the copyright, right?
Yeah.
So the slightly altered non-copyright infringement version of that Batmobile, I have it in the game, and I got it painted red.
Very cool.
It comes in black. I got it red. Now you can't just go to the chop shop and get it painted red. You got to buy this specialty vehicle, like a military vehicle, to drive the thing onto to get it painted. I did that. I spent real money to get the game money to go buy that piece of military equipment just so I could paint my Batman car red in the game.
Well, look at that. Spending money to...
Any other GTA online players out there? Here's another great question. This is for the both of you. Who's your favorite characters to act in your parody? Well, for me, my main characters that I do are Iron Man and the Joker. I love doing the Joker because there's so much more to it and I get to go so much more crazy. But I also love doing Iron Man because it means I don't have to put all the makeup on. And Iron Man's, that being able to play that kind of douchebag version of Iron Man that I do it's kind of fun.
I would say Spider-Man because it's again, like my main one I do, right? I love it. And then now with Batman being the DC version that I do now as well too. But again, like with the Batman with Robert Pattinson coming out, we don't know what that's going to be like yet until it comes out.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
And I swear I'll see that movie, guys. And I can tell you all about it.
Well, you'll see it because you'll see it with me. Well, because I'm assuming there's still going to be no movie theaters or limited movie theaters or whatever. Like stuff's still going to go to home video the same day as it goes to the theaters.
Yeah.
So we'll be renting that and watching it probably here.
I'm guessing that will be. Oh, well, I was gonna say HBO, I guess, as well too. Or
yeah, we'll probably be a rental for us. Yeah, probably HBO Max in the US.
This guy looks serious.
Rent it. Oh, this guy with ninja swords. Yeah, the fight choreography is nothing spectacular in this movie. What he can do is kicks and his spins, and Batman can block that. Yeah, knock him out. One kick. Out of here.
That kind of reminded me of the Indiana Jones, where the guy's like swinging a sword and then all of a sudden just Indiana Jones just grabs a gun and just shoots the guy.
Exactly. Hey, look, Josh Nelson says, Oliver, you're really good as Spider-Man.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. You're awesome. Now it's driving by itself.
That's part of the technology, dude.
Technology.
If you were Batman, you'd be able to get your car to drive itself. Although we're moving into a world where cars do drive themselves.
Yeah, we are.
We're not far off from that being the norm. But just when we think the technology is there, one of those self-driving cars gets in an accident and the politicians go, no.
Now, what do you think? Do you think this will be running on gas or electric?
Well, back then, gas. Nowadays, he might do it electric.
I can see that. Yeah.
But then again, if there's a power outage, like some supervillain kills the power grid, it's like, oh shit, now I can't drive my car.
As again, can you imagine just like him just running out of gas just in the middle of nowhere, and it's like, oh crap, he has to push the car just to get gas, and it's like, yo, you're the Batman. I'm like, yeah.
This drive through the forest. Now that I'm seeing it with my more mature eyes, and we've got all these other movies that have come since to compare it to, what I'm reminded of with these woods is the Wizard of Oz. It looks like Dorothy and the Scarecrow going down the yellow brick road. Like this looks like he's more out on a street, but there was a shot where he kind of was coming through the trees, and it was very obviously a set. And I was like, that looks like the Wizard of Oz. When they find the Tin Man. Why don't we get these shots of Batman just zooming around his Batmobile, glory shots of the car?
Why don't we?
I guess we did in Batman Begins when he was on the roof instead of the street. Yeah, spoiler alert, Batman Begins. He drives the car across the roofs of the buildings. Don't look at me, lady.
I noticed that when Michael Keaton never like plays like I've noticed this in the Batman movie now. It's just like he just has that, like pouty face.
Yeah.
It's like the Batman itself. Now we're in the Batcave. Cool.
The Batcave. With the lovely Kim Basinger. She was married to Alec Baldwin for a whole bunch of years.
No way, serious?
Bunch of years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Any of those recordings that you've heard that got out in the last handful of years where he's like telling off his daughter and whatnot? Like she's the mom.
Oh, no, why didn't I know that? Why does this remind me of like Phantom of the Opera?
I don't know. Probably. I guess there's something to do with like
it's like like
archetypes. Like I'm sure Batman comes out of a certain tradition that you can trace back to the Phantom of the Opera or something.
I think it probably does because it kind of reminds you of that right now. It's like Batman would be Phantom, like the Phantom.
Have you been to see the Phantom of the Opera?
Oh yeah, it's great. It's a great musical.
You're more of a musical theater guy than
I am more musical guy. Yes.
See me, I love superhero movies and I like musical theater. He loves musical theater and likes superhero movies. Hey, lady, I told you not to look. I told you in the car, don't look at me. And she's just like, you look very stiff in that costume. Wouldn't you be more comfortable with like maybe a cloth neck on it or something? You're part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. Wrong movie. Yo, you got a fan here, bro. Is this somebody you know?
For the Hollywood? No, Josh Nelson. Maybe. Do I know you? Maybe.
Yeah, Josh Nelson. Are you? Do you know Oliver IRL?
Maybe I should be the next Spider-Man for the Hollywood.
Uribe. I have not seen Sandy Uribe in the live for a long time, but way back in the early pandemic times, I think Sandy Uribe was hanging out in a bunch of the lives back then. So welcome back.
Hello.
Hi, Batman.
Hello.
Oh, also, Jesus loves you.
Thank you, Lord.
Hell yeah. Okay, so this right here.
So what just happened? She literally just wakes up.
She goes, oh, he took the film. My friend's sister for years thought that she's doing that. Goes, oh, it feels good.
What? So all of a sudden she just gets knocked out and just goes right back to her home.
Well, he took her home.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, like he knocked her and took her home. That's idea.
So nice of him.
Yeah. Well, he knows she works at the newspaper because they did it.
That is true.
Well, it's not the Gazette; it's the Gotham Globe. Why would they do that? Because the Metropolis has the Daily Planet, so why call it the Globe? Same thing. Call it something else, bud.
So, what is it originally called?
Well, I think it's been a couple of different things, but I kept thinking it was the Gotham Gazette.
Gazette.
Yeah.
GG.
G, yeah, the G to the G.
G to the G.
Oh. Yo, I'm gonna put this on screen really fast because it is Easter weekend. Yeah, a little bit of knowledge for the people.
Yeah, long Easter weekend.
Did you know that I used to run the church services on the cruise ship when I worked on a cruise ship?
Why do you tell it?
Well, why do I tell it?
I say, why don't you tell it?
Oh, I just didn't know if I'd ever mentioned
You
it
have
to
told it for me before,
okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah, I'm not getting into the whole story now. Suffice it to say, I got me some deep religion. We keep having to turn it up and down because the talking is quiet, so we turn it up so we can hear it, and then it gets loud. We have to turn it down so the microphone doesn't pick up the movie. Oh, this is the you want to get nuts. Now you're gonna understand what's with that meme. You had to have heard people all your life going, "Let's get nuts." You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Now you're gonna see where that comes from. Oh, here he is apologizing. What's so funny is that for a few years after the Batman stuff, Michael Keaton didn't do much. He did a couple of like quirky comedies. He did one movie, a family movie, where he got turned into a magic snowman, but like he wasn't doing a lot. Then he kind of came from out of nowhere, seemingly, and started acting in all of these movies that would go on to win Best Picture at the Oscars. Then he did Birdman, which was like he's now back all the way.
Did this win anything or?
Oh no. This
No.
was not an awards contender type of movie. I like you. You're a nice girl, and I like you a lot. But right now, shut up.
He was in that one movie. What's it called? The McDonald's, The Founder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that movie so many times. When it came out, I saw it in the theater. And then when it came on Netflix, I watched it over and over and over again.
It was really good.
It just kept on being that one that I want to just have on.
And then he was the Vulture.
Halfster X, Kim Basinger has never looked better. I agree. She is something special in this movie. I'll also recommend, because I'm a bit of a movie buff, Halfster X. So I got to ask you, did you ever see a movie that she is in called The Getaway that she did with her husband at the time, Alec Baldwin? It was a remake of an old movie from the 60s, The Getaway. I'll tell you this, there was an unrated director's cut that had some steamier sex scenes. I saw that back in the day. Kim Basinger boobies. If you want to see them, check out that movie. Can't hear nothing. So what do you think that she thinks he's going to say? Because he's trying to work up the nerve to tell her that he's Batman.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, I'm Spider-Man.
Boom. Oh my God. How dare they come interrupt a lovely moment like this?
Even Jack Nicholson, just as an actor, just fantastic. Just the way he is.
He's won him some Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what is the most recent one or anything, but I know that he has.
Some of my favorites, like he's done The Shining.
The Shining, that's a classic.
Didn't he win on the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was a really great one as well.
One of those same Seans I was telling you about when we got older, we were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
One of those Seans, his whole gimmick was that he wanted people to think that he was like mentally disturbed. So he used to cultivate all these different affectations to get people to think that he was like this dark, disturbed figure, creature of the night kind of idea. Only now I'm looking, and the green in his hair, it's so obvious they use the spray because it's uneven the same way it's often uneven when the cosplayers do it. Like nowadays, they would probably put a wig on him. But back then, you could see that they sprayed it. So yeah, so one friend, he I lost my train of thought. Where's it going with that?
Your three Seans in your teenage years.
Yeah, something to do with
talking about like saying like of how like dark and
The Shining.
yeah.
This dude kept multiple copies of The Shining scattered around his house.
What?
So that whatever room of the house he's in, if he feels like putting it on, there's a copy right there at hand. He doesn't have to go looking for it.
Oh jeez. It was a twisted movie, I will say that.
Yeah.
But it was a great movie.
The great Stanley Kubrick.
It's the Stephen King.
That broken mask is terrifying. Yes, it is. Let me tell you about a guy named Jack. Now, you notice Bruce Wayne is wearing a double-breasted suit, right?
Right now?
Yeah, watch. When he gets to the wider shot, he's wearing a double-breasted suit. So why is he wearing it unbuttoned and opened? Because the whole point of a blazer, when you're going to have it opened, you wear the single-breasted suit. Because with the double-breasted suit, there's so much extra material just like flapping around. You know?
Spoiler alert, he's dead now, guys.
I wonder how many people watched this movie and thought he really was dead. Who's going to be Batman now? Yeah, it's like, it's really sticking out to me now how uneven Nicholson's green hairspray is in this scene.
It's like bothering you, isn't it? You just
It
want to
now.
like get in there and just get in there, you know?
I don't want to give him a spray. I want to say give him a wig. Cesar Romero from the 60s show wore a wig. He didn't mess around with none of this spray. He's also the one that painted over his mustache. He wouldn't shave his mustache for the role.
We had a mustache.
In the guy that played the Joker in the 60s Adam West show.
Yeah,
so his name was Cesar Romero. And his whole like gimmick as an actor is that he's the Latin lover. He plays the Latin lover characters in the movies. So he couldn't shave his mustache. So it all was paint over it. That's what he did. And they let him get away with it. So if you watch those old Batman stuff, pay careful attention to the Joker. He literally just
has a mustache.
Has a mustache that's painted right over it.
I've seen a picture, but I've never actually noticed it.
Yes, I saw a photo just like maybe last week. I don't even remember where I saw it. I wish I would have saved it. But it was Cesar Romero with a cigarette dangling in the dressing room. He's got a cigarette dangling out of his mouth and he hasn't put the wig on yet. So it's the makeup and then his real hair.
No,
only child survives.
You kind of get the origin story here.
Yo, they're taking that origin story. This is my story now. Ooh, Microfiche. Kids watch this now and be like, what the hell is he doing? Why is that computer so slow and clunky? So I don't even know why I did this, but way back in the day, like when I was a little kid, the local library had that microfiche thing that he was just using. So what that was, bizarre technology. It's a plastic square that like light comes through. It's about this big. And the stuff that he's looking at is printed on it so teeny tiny that you can't make it out at all until you put it in the machine. And then what he's looking at is the magnifying glasses are blowing that image up like so big compared to how tiny it is. So he could look at it on that screen. And that's how they would keep like archives of old newspapers and stuff, is turn them into microfiche. I'll be your connection to all the ancient technologies that I only remember because even though you weren't allowed to touch it, I was the kid that went over and did it at the library. Kids weren't allowed to touch the microfiche machine. I did, and now I'm glad because I could share the knowledge with you about what it even is. Oh, now they're just gonna bite the bullet and postpone the parade.
Wait, I like how the guys are looking where the Joker is, but like, wouldn't he be like somewhere else? You know what I mean? See how the guy's just like looking at the Joker right there.
Best I can figure is that they've got monitors all lined up for them all to watch.
Kind of want just like him just to put his hand through just to see if it actually works.
It's a killer. Oh, yeah, the Baker gang, they look intimidating. Okay, so you guys are gonna get you hired to be actors for the day. What we need you to do is grab a shovel and throw dirt into the wheelbarrow. In Gotham City, the cops play cards at the bar with the bartender because the bartender does not have anything better to do like serving drinks. Wait, there's a new Batman. So is this person being Swayze Ortiz? Is this person being facetious, or did you not know that they're in the middle of making a new Batman movie right now?
Or has it already been made? Like, as in, like, it's already been filmed.
I think it's just the tail end of filming. I think it's still filming it.
Yeah.
But I keep hearing the rumors about how apparently the director and Robert Pattinson hate each other.
I heard about that too, actually. Yeah.
Did you hear the story that apparently he was getting it on with Zoe Kravitz on the hood of the Batmobile?
Yep, that's what I heard too as well.
Remember when Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson were an item?
Yep. Yeah. Twilight Days.
Twilight Days, man. You ever watch a Twilight movie?
Nope.
Me neither. We are not going to do a watch-along party for that.
I'm sorry, guys.
Twilight, I remember there was a big thing at the time. Is it still have a fan base? Like, you don't ever hear about it. Like Harry Potter was over so long ago.
Yeah.
But people are still just like nuts over it, right?
I think people have like.
Is there still a fan base for Twilight? You people watching this show, let us know in the comments in the chat if there is still Twilight fans to your knowledge. Okay, we gotta hit this guy up with his question because he keeps asking, do you play the Batman games? If so, what's your favorite game to play? Here's where I'll level with you, bro.
No.
Because I own PlayStation 4, okay? I bought it just because that Spider-Man game was going to be coming out. So I figured while I had it, I might as well play these much ballyhooed Batman games that everybody was talking about over previous years. So there's some kind of bundle where you get the 3 Arkham games all together, remastered and upgraded to take advantage of the PlayStation 4 technology. That's what I got. And whatever is the first game, maybe it's the second, I forget which one, but there's one of them where you got to drive the Batmobile along a rooftop and like dodge something, I don't know what, but I just could not get past that level. And I talked to some other people who said, yeah, that's notoriously really hard. And I don't have the patience, to be honest. That's why I haven't been a gamer all this time. Because like I once, twice, 3 times can't do it. Whatever, I'll go draw comics.
Actually, I have played a Batman game. It was only at a friend's though, but I think it was the Arkham Batman. Wait, did you say there's many Arkham Batman games? I don't know.
Isn't there 3?
I think I played the first one, but I don't exactly remember what actually happened.
So this is the flashback of the Bruce Wayne.
There we go.
So this, when he comes out of the shadows, you'll notice he looks a lot like look who it is. Who's it look like?
Oh my God, it's Jack Nicholson.
See, nowadays what they would do is they would just actually like digitally get Jack Nicholson out of another movie and add him in there. Back then, you put out a call to all the local casting agencies. We need somebody whose smile looks enough like Jack Nicholson's. Okay, so here's a great question from Josh Nelson. How did you guys react when you saw Spider-Man dying in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? How did you react? Did you go see that with us in the movie theater?
Did I? I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I was. You know what? I was just like, no, this can't happen. Why? Why did he have to go?
He said, "Not on my watch." No.
But then when he came back, I was just like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I was a little bit shocked. I was not expecting that. I was like,
No, I wasn't either.
Like that was the indication of like what kind of movie this was going to be. That they are not just phoning this in. That they're not just like doing something to capitalize on the name recognition of Spider-Man. They're actually trying to do something like cool and special and unique. And like that was just such a twist, a turn that I didn't see coming. Because at that point, it's like, okay, so because you're watching it, like, oh, this is gonna be Spider-Man. It's gonna meet Miles Morales. And it's like, zoom. I remember actually now I'm thinking about it. I'm in the theater. I remember thinking, wait a minute, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Miles Morales are supposed to be from like different parallel universes. But in this movie, they're both from the same. Okay, so they're gonna meet universe. And blah blah blah. And then Spider-Man gets killed. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And then they started getting in all the Spider-Verse stuff. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Makes sense. And I'm excited for number 2 that's coming, what, 2022?
2022.
Yeah,
they haven't announced any like changes. I guess they don't have to corral a bunch of actors. COVID ain't such a worry when you're
it's all voice acting, right?
Generated animations. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. Are you ready for Spider-Man 3?
Yeah. In December,
No Way
right?
Home, right?
No Way Home.
Yeah, it better be. If they put it in December, it better be a Christmas movie.
But we have heard now that there is now have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on set. Now they've been saying it was rumors, but now it's actually.
I heard it was Tobey Maguire on set, but no confirmation that it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
That's true.
Maybe
it's just in the background, you know.
But then again, here's the thing: after Evan Peters was in WandaVision, and he was not there to be the parallel universe version of Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, yeah.
That's why I couldn't get down with anybody. Because the people on Twitter that were like hating on the kind of people who were getting into WandaVision for the looking for the connections and the Easter eggs and thinking that there's going to be a lot more to it than there was. And people on Twitter were clowning on those kinds of people. And I was like, yeah, that might be valid, except that the show itself cast another universe's version of Quicksilver to play this Quicksilver. Like, it's a reasonable expectation that it's all going to tie together like that. And then it ended up not. So, like, why? Except for the only possible reason was to mess with people. Oh, he's blown up the Axis chemical plant and not driving very fast.
You think you'd be driving completely
now,
fast.
There's a blooper coming up that I never, ever noticed. I've seen this movie. I don't even think I'd be exaggerating if I said over 100 times I've seen this movie.
Wow. Because
I watched it. Like, I would race home from school to beat my sister to the TV to be able to put this on every single day. And all that time I've seen this movie, I never noticed this blooper that's coming up until someone pointed out, watch the belt. Boop. You see it?
No.
He turns around to face the helicopter and his belt falls.
Oh, does it? Oh, I missed it. I wasn't quick enough.
We'll play it for you. I'm not going to back the movie up, but I'll play it for you later. We're getting a lot of questions about Spider-Man.
Come on, guys. This is Batman.
Who's your
Batman
favorite
questions?
Spider-Man?
My favorite Spider-Man.
Straight up Peter Parker.
Peter Parker,
Teenage
man.
Peter Parker.
That's right.
OG Comics Peter Parker. What I want to see even more than the current Spider-Man movies, I want to see a series of Spider-Man.
There's so many.
Because
I
know about a live action, good special effects.
That would be
hour-long drama.
I think that would be the
so many villains and so many stories that through all high school going into college, you could just follow the comics and not have to create anything new at all. And you could get like 7 seasons of a show without creating anything new. Now you would update it, of course, but say you don't have to. Like, there's enough material there. I think that it's almost unfortunate that Spider-Man is as popular as he is because the movies are always going to be the thing. But, oh, man, would I love to see a Spider-Man show, because that's where I think you could really get into the day in, day out Peter Parker trying to make it work. We're talking about too much Spider-Man right now, so we'll be talking about Batman right now.
We're in Batman, guys. Say some Batman questions.
Yeah, give it up for Sandy Uribe. Batma.
So there's a parade going on right now here.
Yeah, so what you missed, because we were talking over it, was when remember when the Joker was doing that whole like shove the mayor out of the TV, like what is it, TV monitors?
Yeah.
That goofy thing. So that was him explaining that even though the mayor, because the mayor had come out to announce that they're canceling the whole movie, the mayor's like, we're not canceling the parade. It's Gotham City's 200th anniversary. We're not canceling the parade. So he finally, with all this stuff going on with the Joker, he finally comes out and says, okay, we're canceling the parade. And the Joker hacked the feed to say, I'm doing the parade and I'm going to throw money in the crowd.
Oh, and this was off the
And
2 million or something like that?
Yeah, so it's actually, they cut it out of the movie, but there's an outtake where you see people look at the money he's throwing at the crowd. Because earlier in the movie, Vicky Vale asked, like, what do you want? And he goes, my face on the $1 bill. So here they cut it. I don't know why they cut it out, but there's supposed to be a part where I've seen the outtake, like the blooper or whatever, the outtake, where somebody like they're all going after the money, and then it's a close up of somebody looking at the money, and it's fake. It's got the Joker on the $1 bill.
Oh, so it's not even real money. It's just fake money that they're throwing out to people. Thinking so tricks on you guys.
Yeah, I wonder why they took that out, because that would have been like so in character for the Joker. I remember the Christmas that these toys were hot. I wanted the Batmobile so bad. It's one of those things where Santa had to leave a little note saying, like, I'm so sorry. Too many kids wanted a Batmobile. I couldn't get one to everybody. I didn't have enough. I'm so sorry. And I got the Batwing instead, the plane.
That's the Batwing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Batwing, because one of these things where it's like some assembly required, right? So you basically have the body and then clip the wings in, and then there was like a almost like a gun handle and a trigger that made, because you'll see it's coming up when Batman like has these arms that come out of the front to grab stuff.
Okay.
So you pull the trigger and it would make those come out the front so you can grab other figures.
Nice. Some cool toys back then.
And for the longest time, I had it hanging from the ceiling in my bedroom, like put hooks up in the ceiling and then hung it from fishing line to look like it's in midair. I wonder what happened to that, because I never would have gotten rid of it, like sold it or gave it away. I wonder where I lost it along the way. Maybe it's in a box in my mother's attic or something. I remember I was telling you about the 3 Seans. This is going to keep coming up because
there you go.
That's the part of my life from when this movie was hot, right? So the one Sean was one of these dudes where his mom just like spoiled him rotten, bought him everything. Always wanted to make sure that her kids were the ones that, like, if something was hot on the playground, she wanted her kids to be the ones that had like the best stuff, the most stuff. So he had like Batman, everything, all the toys, all the trading cards, everything. So that's when we were kids, right? So a few years ago, he showed up to my house. I haven't seen this guy in years. So we're going to reconnect and have dinner together. And he shows up to my house with a fucking box. Sorry, I'm part of my language again. He brought all that Batman stuff from when we were kids. He brought the box and gave it to me.
Oh, that's kind of him.
So like the plastic Batman mug that's in the room, that's from that box. That's a vintage 1989 Batman mug.
Oh, wow.
There's a pack of unopened Batman 1989 trading cards out of that box that's out on the shelf right now. I meant to bring it in here for the stream and show it on the camera. So pardon me for not. James Trainham, my favorite movie is Batman. It's favorite movie, not just favorite Batman movie. Favorite movie. That's the Val Kilmer one.
Oh, that's with Jim Carrey and all that?
Yeah.
Okay. I've not seen that movie yet, James. So
James,
I don't know.
Tell me what is it you like about it so much that it's your favorite movie? Because it's one thing to say it's your favorite Batman movie, but your favorite movie? That's wild. James Trainham in the house.
So I'm guessing they're releasing the laughing gas right now or something, or
hell yeah, he lured everybody downtown so he could kill them all.
Because he's that crazy.
Because he's mean. He's a big old stinking meanie. Oh, and then she lost control of her car and threw Alexander Knox into the dirt. How dare you?
I wonder if somehow we could probably do that. Just like somehow drive the car, suddenly stop, and then just have a pile of like
see that? Those things come up the front?
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
what
that
you're
on the
about.
toy,
Okay.
you pull a little trigger.
Yeah.
So on the bottom of the plane, there's a little handle, and that's how you can fly it. And then you pull the trigger, and that comes out the front. He stole my balloons. And then, yeah, if you've seen this before, if you're a fan of this movie, you know that one of the best shots in all of cinema history is coming up. If you know what I'm talking about, put it in the chat. It's coming up. It involves the Batwing. I won't say the best. I'll say definitely one of the best shots in all of cinema is coming up. So here's a joke.
Looking forward to it.
So I guess Jack Nicholson and his buddy had an argument when the cameras weren't rolling because he's about to exit the movie. He's not my friend anymore. So the told thing about the 200th anniversary and the balloons, that's so Prince had another song on the Batman album called 200 Balloons. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. The moon, the Batwing over the moon. Boom, there it is. One of the best shots in this history of cinema. Man, when I was a kid and I saw that for the first time, I lost my mind. That was so good. Remains. Oh, Josh Nelson is coming correct. I gotta say, this is a case could be made. You didn't even watch the Batman Lego movie, right?
No.
Yeah, favorite Batman movie is Lego Batman.
I'll have to watch that.
The only one that I saw, the only Batman movie you saw, apart from Batman v Superman, which is that even a Batman movie? Joker equals big fat meaty. That's right. You can quote me. Now you heard about this, eh? Tommy Lee Jones would not sanction Jim Carrey's buffoonery.
What?
This is a famous story that Jim Carrey, part of the reason why he was excited to play the Riddler is because he heard Tommy Lee Jones was going to be in it, and he always wanted to work with Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh.
So he gets the role, and he invites Tommy Lee Jones to dinner. He's so excited to meet him. They're going to talk about the movie and the roles and whatnot. And Tommy Lee Jones, apparently, the story goes, sits down, and the first thing out of his mouth is like, I just want to say this. I do not sanction your buffoonery. They talk about getting off on the wrong foot.
Oh no. It's like meeting your fan and then or meeting your hero, and then all of a sudden it's just you just get shut down like that. That sucks.
Now James Trainham, I gotta put him back on screen. His favorite part of Batman Forever is when Dick Grayson took the Batmobile for a spin, and then Dick Grayson fights thugs with glow-in-the-dark sticks. Now, I had to highlight this comment because Oliver, having never seen this movie, how does that sound to you that there exists a Batman movie where somebody could even say this? Talk about Dick Grayson fighting thugs with glow-in-the-dark sticks.
Well, they're raving, and then all of a sudden they just get glow sticks and just stop.
Basically. No, it's the whole movie is
little
these
tiny
bright neon colors because they wanted to. Again, it's one of these things where the studio is one guy, Tim Burton's making the movies too damn serious, so we want somebody who's going to make it more of a cartoon. So that's why Tim Burton didn't do the third movie.
Why is his gun so long? Look at that. Look at what is it? The funnel?
The telescopes, yeah. I would think, without being a gun expert, I would think that would impact the precision of the aim and the velocity of the bullet. I would think that telescoping mechanism would impact both of those things negatively.
I think his gun would just explode.
It shoots at the thing that falls off the front and blows backwards. That takes his hair off.
Kind of like the Looney Tunes where it's when they shoot a gun and it just curls.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes back.
WWE CM Punk returns. That's an interesting name.
How are you?
We're great.
We're great.
We're fantastic.
We're watching a Batman movie.
Watching Batman. We got some
one of my
pizza chips,
first ones.
drinking some beer.
Good old times. Just chilling.
Yeah. So Josh Nelson says he wants to help make videos, but where in the world do you live? Are you local? Did you get your COVID test? So we are an hour and 47 minutes into this movie that is 2 hours plus.
2 hour plus movie?
I don't know if it's quite 2.5. I think it's more like 2:10. I don't actually remember. It's
2:10.
long anyway. Longer. But then again, when I was a kid and I saw on the VHS tape that the running time was 2 hours plus, I was like, oh, they really pack in the value.
Long movies, right?
Really get your money's worth. Yeah. Gotta climb up the stairs to get the Joker.
You think though, like Batman would use his grappling gun? Is it called?
That's a great
Grappling
point.
gun?
The
Yeah.
grappling gun, yeah. Why wouldn't he? Because we have already seen him in this movie do it, where he shoots it up and then it goes ring and up he goes. Right?
You think he would do that?
So why wouldn't he be doing that right this very second?
He's like doing the CN Tower walk right now, going all the way.
Because I'm trying to think. Because I know this movie well. I'm trying to think. Are we going to see him use it later?
Like in
that
this
would
movie?
mean, because that would mean that he's got it on him right now while he's climbing those stairs. And if he's got it, yeah, it does. I don't want to spoil anything, but like, yeah, I'll tell what I'll say is that he does have it.
Is it like one time use only type thing?
That's got to be it. It's got to
Okay.
be it. I've got one shot with this, and I want to use it for something
Making sure
else
I'm just
that
aiming in the right
I
position.
won't say what because I don't want Oliver to know
Want to know what?
what happens.
Oh,
How I know that he's got that grappling gun thing on him right now.
so he
in this
decides
church.
to run all the way upstairs. Kind of reminds me of the Venom 3 with oh, not Venom 3. That's not even out. It
Spider-Man
exists
3.
now.
I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
Spider-Man.
about.
Yeah,
I know
Spider-Man
exactly
3.
what you're
Yeah.
More Batman talk with James Trainer. My favorite Batman movie, Batman and Robin, the 1997 movie. My favorite part is when Batman and Robin fight Mr. Freeze and his goons at the Gotham Museum. So interesting. James Trainham, his favorite movie is Batman Forever, but his favorite Batman movie is Batman and Robin.
Cool. I know that Mr. Freeze was that Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Arnold
that's
Schwarzenegger,
right.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Batman's taking no guff.
I like how he's like looking up. He has to his entire body just to look up, you know.
What was your favorite Michelle Pfeiffer scene in Batman Returns? He can't answer because he hasn't seen it.
Sorry, guys.
But for me, it's tough to say. Probably, you know what? When she's like propped up on her elbow on the bed when she first meets Danny DeVito's penguin. Ooh, chihuahua. Hot stuff. Okay, so Dry says, Ollie, that's a good movie, but you guys should also do Batman and Robin. I'll be watching for that. So maybe that could be a follow-up. We won't do it for the next edition of the Movie Club Watch-Along Party, but maybe down the road, that'll be a good one to do. It's Batman and Robin. I've watched that in a long time. I think I've watched it all the way through just once. And that was only because I wasn't even going to watch it. It looked so stupid when it was out. And I didn't watch it. And then I was in a car with some friends. Like, well, you've never seen it? Oh, you got to see it. And they immediately got off the highway, went to this 24-hour video rental store and rented it. And we went to the one guy's house and watched it like in the middle of the night. Like we've already been to a party. We're on our way home from the party when these guys are like, no, we got to see this movie. So it's probably like 4 o'clock in the morning. We were watching this Batman and Robin. It's been the only time I've seen it. Jacob Banash. Is that how I say that? Jacob Banash. Big fans of Batman and not just a fan of Sean Ward. He's a fan of the Sean Ward. Tell that Sean Ward from England who has been on Coronation Street, who his name comes up first when you put this name into Google. You tell him who's the Sean Ward. How about that?
I didn't know there was another Sean Ward in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there was only the one Sean
It's
Ward.
infuriating that there is another Sean Ward who has more Instagram followers than me. because he's been on TV. You know Coronation Street, right?
I do.
Yeah, so he had a recurring part on Coronation Street for like the better part of a season, and it got him like famous for the time that he was on it. And but I've got the Sean Ward name on all the social media, so he keeps on having to be Sean J. Ward. And so often people are trying to talk to him, and they tag me instead because they forget to put the J. Great question. Who be Iron Man? Me. You want me to draw the mustache on? I'll do it. Don't make me do it. Parker Cowan, a man of Parker Cowan. I know you've been commenting on videos for a long time asking about this topic. And I don't know how else to put it to you. I've been trying to like dart around it, but on some of these live streams, I've addressed this more openly. But the reason why I put this on screen right now is because this has been on my mind for the last couple of days. I'm just going to say it. Lee owes me $15,000. I spent $15,000 on a movie so that Lee could write and direct it. And he stabbed me in the back. There's a whole long story there. That's as much as I need to get into at this stage. And I only put that there and I only address this because Parker Cowan has been commenting in a few videos about it. What was your favorite Uma Thurman Poison Ivy scene in Batman and Robin? So many to choose.
Well,
Uma Thurman was just like the hottest thing in
Wasn't
Hollywood.
she she's the actress in the Kill Bill movies.
Yeah. So she was Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin.
I did not know that.
The one that Arnold Schwarzenegger's in.
Oh, Mr. Freeze. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Oh,
and it has Bane in it, but it's not anywhere near the Bane from the Dark Knight. You don't know because you haven't seen it, so never mind. Who knows what I'm talking about when I go, I'm Bane. That's my name. James Trainham, the two Batman movies, those are awesome Batman movies. So James Trainham, if we were going to do a watch-along movie party for one of those movies, which one would you say we got to do it for? Batman and Robin or Batman Forever? I would think it would be Batman and Robin just because that's more clickable. More people would want to watch that. Kong, face first into the bell. You made me remember. So, hey, this is almost the same as The Dark Knight. Like Heath Ledger and Joker and Batman had a fist fight on a derelict old building.
I'll let you know when I watch it.
It's practically the same movie. I got to say, I'll be honest. I was hoping that was going to be the movie that won. Just because that is more of this is like a take on Batman. I feel like The Dark Knight is more like a quintessential representation of Batman. Like if you really want to know what Batman is about in its truest essence, I would think Dark Knight is the movie to watch. Whereas this is like a filmmaker's interesting take on Batman. But then again, that's not fair too, because The Dark Knight came out in a world where so many other movies paved the way for it to be what it was. This was the Dark Knight of its time. This was as true to the comics as you could get at that time.
Because this reminds me of like the animated series a little bit too as well. Just a little bit.
Well, the animated series was based on this. It wasn't necessarily set in the same world, but it took a lot of its stylistic cues from this movie. Let me lend you a hand. Oh, good, he caught her. Fun fact, the human body is incapable of hanging by the fingers for this long. They both would have fallen to their deaths long before now. And now that I'm watching it, you can totally tell that Michael Keaton is just standing on the ground, reaching up. There was one shot there where it was really obvious.
I don't think they would never hurt the actors just to have that scene. But could you imagine though?
Oh, Lunar Galaxy did you guys watch Zack Snyder's Justice League? He has not.
I have not yet. No,
he has not. You didn't watch any of it.
No,
I watched the whole thing. 4 hours. I had to watch it in pieces. But when I finished it, I actually covered this on the last live stream on Monday, how I was actually a lot more impressed than I was prepared to be. There was a lot, excuse me, it's getting late. There's a lot that they cut out of it for the Joss Whedon version that I was just like, why the hell would you cut that out? It's so good, or it's so much better than what you used. But the thing, it redeemed Zack Snyder's vision of these characters for me in a way. I still think Batman v Superman is not a good movie, but I think that was just Zack Snyder doing what he had to do to get there. It is. See, he had it the whole time. Then again, maybe it's not the grappling gun because it's wrapped around like that. But yeah, I could tell watching it that like Zack Snyder's passion was in that way more than it was in Superman or Batman specifically. I could tell from that movie that he loves this stuff, and that's refreshing to see in a world where a lot of times Hollywood people take these gigs making these superhero movies, but they're not into it. It's just a sweet gig. You know what I mean? So for it to be so obvious that someone loves it that much and knows the stuff, and the whole thing with I won't say too much because Oliver hasn't seen it, but what they did with the Flash in the final scene that they didn't do in the Joss Whedon version was magnifique.
So now we've got the Joker dead now. He's gone.
Joker's dead, yeah.
Oh.
Waste a perfectly good villain. Okay, so what's he got? Grappling gun. Boom.
That's it. One use only.
What I like is how this hook makes a little pause to go, really get in there. Yeah. That little hook has a mind of its own. Yo, they're going to make out while they're hanging there on the rope.
Oh. And there he is. Died. Oh, he's dead on the floor.
So Wendy Marriott says,
Hi,
I
Mom.
know what Oliver is getting for his birthday. When's your birthday? It's coming up?
No, September.
No,
It's like way.
Mom, what are you talking about?
Why? What am I getting? Tell me.
An upgrade to your Batman costume. She got you the Adam West version of the Batman costume.
That's what
I actually want that.
Always what I
want.
wanted.
My fitness motivation is to be able to be fit enough to look cool in that ridiculous spandex onesie for the Adam West Batman.
Let's get yourself a corset.
Ivory Marston. Yeah, we had somebody asking earlier if we played any of the Batman games, and we took that to mean the Arkham games. And I was saying that I got stuck on whichever is that game where you got to be driving the Batmobile around on the roofs. I couldn't get past it.
On the roof?
Yeah.
You
have to drive the Batmobile around the roof, and it's just like one tricky maneuver you got to do, and I just couldn't do it. And I'm not a gamer because I don't have the patience to just try until I get it. I was like, try. Ah, screw this.
I never knew that would be a thing, driving the Batmobile on the roof.
Yeah, well, he did it in Batman Begins.
I guess we'll see.
All right, the origin of the bat signal. He gave us a signal. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Oh, Alfred was waiting. Imagine if he was going to say to her, like, Master Bruce told me to have a go, warm me up before he got here.
What? He's still rocking it.
Oh, yeah. Look at it. He gets mad ladies, man. When his off hours, he goes down to the club. He's got the hottest dance moves. Hester X with a brilliant, insightful comment. Danny Elfman, best score. One of his earliest scores. I think he did Pee-wee's Big Adventure was his first one. Then he did Beetlejuice. Then he did Batman. So I think this was only his third score. And now he's like one of the most sought after.
I'm trying to think. Didn't he do Nightmare Before Christmas as well?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of them before? Or
Yeah,
was
that's
this?
just
Or was that
couple
after?
After this.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I think it was 92. I think the movie came out 90 something anyway, early 90s, 91 or 92, maybe even 93, but definitely after 89. Gone. Gone.
Nice.
And then we're all sad because it's over. Yeah.
Cool beans.
There you go. So now you have seen your first Batman movie.
Well, the whole way through.
And you shared it with several hundred, maybe even 1,000 or more people over the course of the evening. People coming and going throughout the whole broadcast. So what do you think? How'd you like Batman 1989, starring Michael Keaton and directed by Tim Burton?
I did. I liked it. You know, Tim Burton's movies are quite good as well. Like Nightmare Before Christmas was one of them that I really enjoyed, and like this one especially too as well. Like you said, this was a full what the word I'm looking for? Set. There we go. I'm getting tired as well too, guys. A full set. Like, was it all like? Like you said, how big was the set again? It was
enormous. They built it on the biggest soundstage in the world. They built several square blocks of the city and just really showcased it.
I would say like probably my favorite character. Obviously, like Jack Nicholson is one of the best, and like from what I know of the Joker right now, as well as Phoenix is as well too. I like both. This one gave it more of like a funny comical one, while with the Phoenix one he did more of like dramatic, and he did more like sincere, like serious as well too. But like I still think Phoenix so far is one of my favorite Jokers, but even Jack Nicholson just did a fantastic job.
So you saw the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie before you actually saw a Batman movie.
I did see. That's not a Batman movie though.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just the
but
Joker
it's just so
movie,
weird
yeah.
to me that you would see a Joker movie before you saw a Batman movie.
I heard it was good, and I wanted to go for it.
And it
And I
was
think,
good.
and I got it for free as well too because my friend paid.
Yeah. And then Alan says, Batman Marathon, go. Well, you know what? If I did not have a 1.5-year-old daughter that I've got to be looking after tomorrow, I would be tempted to say, you know what? Screw it. Let's just put on the next one. And we actually did a movie party for Batman Returns earlier in the year when I did the 3 that I did at the beginning of the pandemic. So not early in the year, last year, a year ago. Let's.
So am I allowed to watch now all the other Batman movies? or
You're
do I
allowed
have
to watch all kind of movies, bro.
Yes.
Elfman did the original Justice League score and brought back the Batman theme, but Zack replaced it with Junkie XL, and I'm glad that he did, because my least favorite thing about the Joss Whedon version of Justice League is that in the Danny Elfman score, there's one moment where you can hear a tiny little bit of the old 1978 Superman music. And it's like cool to hear it, but that tells me they don't know anything about character or the idea of theme, because that's Superman's theme, but they're playing it when Superman's like forgets who he is and he's being a bad guy. So like, what are you doing? This doesn't belong now. So I hated that they did that. I'm glad it's gone. Let's check out some more of these comments before we wrap up here. Oh, there's some private chat messages coming
What's
in.
this?
Hey guys, Eileen DC. Oh, this is when we were talking before which one Jason prefers. This is him letting us know.
What did it say?
It says that he leans DC, but he loves both Marvel and DC.
No.
And I was right. He's a lean DC, mainly Batman. I called it. Let me see. He says, oh, I think you need the full set of Batman movies as an early present. Well, hook it up, Mom.
There we go.
All this talking about it. Do it. Make it happen. But I'm not all the Batman movies from this series.
Pinewood Studios.
There you go. Pinewood Studios.
Studios.
You got to get them Batman 1966. You got to get them the old serials from the 1940s. You got to get them all 3 of the Nolan movies. You got to get them Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, plus Justice League, the theatrical version, plus a physical media copy of the 4-hour Justice League, which doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
Plus an early advanced copy of the Robert Pattinson Batman, which isn't even finished being made yet. So if you're really going to give them the full set, you got to give them all of those. Can you do a Batman versus Joker? Well, we do all the time.
All the time.
And in fact, the video that's going up tomorrow, here's a nice little plug for y'all. The video that's going up tomorrow has him back in the Batman costume and me back in the Joker makeup. And it's going to be what happened when Batman signed up for OnlyFans.
That's
going
gonna be fun.
That's going up tomorrow, dude. That video's almost done. So here's one question: do you make your outfits for the parodies, or do you buy them and upgrade so they look more real?
Wait,
Kind of a mix of both.
well, we do have.
Yeah, he's got the most authentic, movie accurate Batman mask ever coming up right now.
It is one of the best, guys.
Yeah,
I think
check
it's.
him out.
I think it's
Boom.
amazing.
Boom. When did Batman get here?
I'm here now. This is who I am.
He's Batman.
So after watching the movie now, do you think I can play Batman now?
I think you should wear that home. I think you should stop on the way home at a drive-thru or several and see what kind of looks you get. See how many you got to go to before they think you're trying to rob them.
I can't even see it right now, but I'd be the derpiest Batman right now.
You go to a drive-thru and you're literally just trying to place an order, and they're throwing all the money at you, going, "Just leave me alone, don't hurt me."
I don't want your money. I'm richer than you think. There we go.
Yo, Josh Nelson, you're saying you want to be a member of our cast, but like you didn't tell me where you live.
What'd you do, bro?
Yeah, tell us where you live. I mean, even with that said, there's still COVID restrictions, but we'll see what happens.
I'll keep it up for now.
Well, yeah. So, Josh, what kind of
Buddy,
what costumes do you rock? What characters do you play? Yeah, and then we had Haster X commenting.
Bunny ears, love
Bunny
your word.
ears.
Oh, thanks. Thank
And then
you.
we got
Appreciate
Ivory
it.
Marston. Dude, 10 out of 10 legit Batman cowl. Nice. Well, this was a lot of fun, everybody.
Yes.
It's time to wrap it up. This has been stellar. I've loved it. I've loved every moment of it. And so, we didn't talk about what should the next movie be. So 1 month from now, I'm thinking Friday, May 7th is looking to be the target date right now for our next movie party. So what should the movie be? Let's see some of these suggestions in the comments. We want to see suggestions. It has to be a superhero movie. That's the one.
So
caveat.
any DC, any Marvel,
Any
movies.
DC, even if it's not Marvel or DC, we would accept suggestions like Ninja Turtles. I don't know if we do Kick Ass, but like that's a superhero movie, so it would count.
It is.
So you guys give us some suggestions, and then we'll do the same thing a week before showtime. We'll do some votes, and everybody will pick what movie we're gonna watch.
I'm excited.
We'll get some more beers. We'll get some more snacks. Maybe we'll order up some dinner. Who knows?
Get some pizza, sushi.
And then also we got Black Widow coming up, not till July, but I don't know if we'll do one of these like watch-along movie parties, but we will definitely have an office party, invite everybody to watch it here.
Yes.
Just like we did for Wonder Woman 1984.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Any
you
suggestions?
Inspired me, Oliver, to be Spider-Man. Yeah. Great show. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching.
Yes, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we got the suggestion of The Dark Knight, Batman versus Robin, or Birds of Prey. Oh, that might be an interesting one. I don't know if we get a lot of people tuning in to watch it because that movie is not very like highly acclaimed. People don't look at it like it's a classic. Joker might be an interesting one.
Joker would be good. I definitely watch that again.
What's going on in the zeitgeist? Maybe like what would be one of like the off the wall Marvel ones? Like what would be an off kilter pick from the Marvel pantheon? Like Ant-Man and the Wasp or something really out of left field like that.
What about Winter Soldier?
Oh, that'd be a good one. Especially now that the Falcon and Winter Soldier is on the TV show. And I guess that series, I think that series is only 6 episodes. That series will have wrapped up by the time we get there. And then we're going to be talking about getting ready for Loki. That'll be the next show coming up.
That's coming in June.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That's going to be good.
Yeah, Batman Forever 1995. Sean, Oliver, Jesus is waiting to make him your Lord and Savior. Well, it is Easter weekend, so that's what I say to that. Oh, there's one we got to do. The Roger, you heard about this?
Roger Fantastic.
Do you know who Roger Corman is?
No.
So Roger Corman is a film director whose claim to fame is that he does movies like really, really, really low budget, cheap movies. So he got hired to make a Fantastic Four movie back in the day. And he went along with making it, and everybody who was in it all went along with it with a crappy budget, just did the best they could. I've seen it. The special effects are so cheesy. They're so bad, like so bad that they're hilarious, right? And the joke is on everybody because what nobody knew is that the whole reason they were making it, they gave it a $1 million budget. You know how much these movies cost, right?
Yeah,
Tens
a lot of
hundreds
money,
of millions of dollars. They gave the movie a $1 million budget and gave it to Roger Corman to direct it because they were only making it to be able to keep the rights to the Fantastic Four. There was a clause in the contract that had to be in production on a movie by a certain date or lose the rights. So they basically just like set $1 million on fire to just arbitrarily make something, and it has since been bootlegged all over again.
Interesting. So wait, is that an original, or is that the one with like Chris Evans as like the human?
No, before that.
Oh,
before that.
It was
Way
way
before.
before.
There's
Oh,
no
wow.
big stars in it.
God.
There's no nothing. It's just a cheap, quickie,
There you
like
go.
a straight to video quality movie, but worse. And what you guys don't see is we've got the movie's over, so there's a slideshow that plays on the TV when nothing's on, and we got Danny as Harley Quinn on it. In
Harley
two different
Quinn.
outfits. Yeah.
Maybe you should watch Birds of Prey.
I tried to get her to come for this, but she's too busy being a TV star.
TV star now.
Some reason Sony made the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I have to keep the license. Oh.
I didn't know that. So but they had just done the Sam Raimi ones. That's a quick turnaround.
Didn't they also fire Andrew Garfield from being Spider-Man too? Didn't they?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I just think they just didn't want to be part of the Marvel things. They were just looking up for any excuse to get rid of him. That's my amateur conjecture.
They're probably looking for someone a bit younger. Tom Holland.
And there he is, Tom Holland. Oh, the day will come when Tom Holland isn't younger and we'll need somebody else. Some kid who's like 5 years old right now is going to be Spider-Man one day.
One day.
Damn. The Punisher from the 80s. Oh, you never seen that?
No, I've never
Dolph
seen that one,
Lundgren.
No.
Straight to video. Doesn't even have the skull on his chest, but he has it on his knife, and at least you get to see it. But that movie is just like so over the top, ridiculously violent that it was straight to video. I couldn't even release it in theaters. Yeah, I remember renting that. I was way too young for that, but I saw it anyway. It was gruesome. All right, we're gonna end this show. Thank you very much for hanging out with us.
Thank you so
Next
much.
movie party coming up approximately May 7th. And we'll see you there. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye. Nice.
Just to give them a little bit of like outro music. Ow.